Hey, all you cool cats and gamers! Welcome to Victory Lap, the GDQ hotfix show that highlights recent world record and personal best runs and the runners who made them happen. I'm your host, Nuclear, and tonight we've got Violin with us to showcase his new world record run of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix Any Percent Proud Mode. Before we get started, though, I do have a few announcements. One and Doneathon is coming up again, where you can show off your favorite run, and that's your only appearance on the One and Doneathon series. The second installment will be happening on August 13th to 14th. Submissions are open from now until July 20th. Use command OADAT in chat to find out more and submit your run. Also, just a reminder that this is the last day from now until midnight Eastern, so we only got a couple more hours here. GDQ's revenues from subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered after taxes will be donated to Doctors Without Borders by Games Done Quick. So make sure you get those in if you want to. We only have a couple more hours for that. That being said, I am going to pass this on to Violin. Violin, I know you've been grinding a lot of different Kingdom Hearts runs lately. Mm-hmm. Is this one that you've been... what are all the runs that you've been grinding out for this series?
Well, the primary category I've ran over the past years was beginner. Any percent is the most competitive category, the most accessible category. Very, very fun. And then we have standard, which is a little longer than beginner. Uses a lot of strength abilities and keyblades. And then there's proud, which we're showcasing today. And it's pretty much exactly the same as standard, except you take double damage. And you get to use Mushu a little bit at the end.
And now
I've been... Mushu's great. I've been also grinding level 1, and it's been kicking my butt. So.
Yeah, I think that's been your current cup of tea. Are there... I primarily know you for Kingdom Hearts speedrunning. Is there any other games you speedrun or anything you're looking to get into speedrun-wise?
Kingdom Hearts is my primary series, but I've been trying to diversify a little bit. I used to actually speedrun Crash Team Racing a lot. Very cool racing game. And I'm also planning to get into some Mario and Zelda games.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce your lovely commentators here, and then we can really dive into the meat and potatoes of all this.
Yeah, so I'm joined by fellow runner Majoris239 and Spike Vegeta. Say hello, guys.
Hey, y'all. I'm Majoris. I speedrun this game as well, and also do a lot of science behind the scenes.
Hello, I'm Spike Vegeta. I'm the dumb guy on for this one. I do not do science behind the scenes. I ran this game about 8 years ago, so it's cool. Wow. I think a lot of what's going to be fun tonight is getting to, because I ran this back in like the PlayStation 2 and 3 era. So getting to watch like kind of what it is now, the Epic Games version that we're playing today. We're not even going to have to watch the opening cutscene. It's going to be great. And just how the strategies have evolved over the years, and now the fastest ever completion of Kingdom Hearts on the highest difficulty, Proud Mode, should be a lot of fun to witness.
Absolutely. All right, so I think we're ready to get started. Basically, how this is going to work is I'm going to play my world record video. And I should say today is the 1 week anniversary of this world record. I got exactly 1 week ago. But yeah, how this is going to work is I'm going to play through the video, and we have a cool little drawing program that you guys will see me utilize every now and then. So yeah, let's get started. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
All right. So yeah, right off the bat, I'm just selecting the difficulty. Manual camera, no vibration. It's personal preference, obviously. And then at the start here, we get to skip the opening, which you can only do on PC and Xbox. It's very, very cool. We actually pick sword here on Proud because we want to, our strength at the very start is very bad. So the extra strength does make a big difference overall. And then it also allows us to get certain abilities like Slapshot and Combo Plus. which will allow us to kill bosses a lot faster throughout the entire run.
Play on beginner. It's called play an actual.
And yeah, this tutorial's pretty basic. We're gonna skip a lot of cutscenes. We're gonna whack some boxes, hit some
And then
heartless,
you'll get a consistent hook fight.
what have you.
I did not know that last cutscene you could skip that early, like in the black screen. That was really good.
Yeah, it's really weird. There's like 2 cutscenes that have a hidden cutscene in between those cutscenes. It's like a couple frames, and if you skip it, you save like, I want to say like a tenth of a second. It's very minuscule.
No.
Also, it might look like we're just okay. We're fighting some shadows right now. Violent able to get the 2 combo right there to knock out both sets of those heartless. That's really good there for your first piece of combat in the run.
Yeah, and starting off with the sword actually gives us 1 more strength than we usually start out with. So we'll be killing shadows in 3 hits instead of 4, which is very nice.
One thing that's really important to mention about this game is that the damage formula is exponential in nature. So 1 extra strength really does make a massive difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can
and
really
then
feel
here-
it. Go ahead, Violent.
Yeah, here I'm just answering questions, and on Proud you want to select all of the top options, because that sets our EXP curve to allow us to get levels quicker in the.
You were most definitely playing randomizer.
How do I say that? The beginning of as we go on, leveling will slow down over time. So we want to level up as quickly as possible, because at the end of the run, we hit about, I think it's level 43. I think.
Yeah, that's
I
the
think it's
ending
43.
number you're shooting for. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, here at the start of the fight, can I rewind? Uh-oh. Well, my arrow keys aren't working anymore. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Here at the start of the fight, I walk to the right of the shadows here to get a good angle on them, and I just do a couple ground combos and just whack the rest with air combos. And then you want to position yourself near the save points so that when you skip the cutscene, you're already close to it.
I do also want to just jump in and just note for everybody watching, we've kind of glossed over the fact that Violin, as much as he can, is going to be trying to do air combos all throughout this run. Trying to quickly and efficiently jump in the air and smack these things that are like the size of a small dog, like shadows and other even just humanoid-like enemies, is actually really difficult to do, though, as well as Violin is doing.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of practice. But if you're ever wondering how I'm doing these air combos, I do have a nice controller display right here. So if you're wondering what buttons I'm pressing, you can just refer to that.
So we death abused there because
Yeah,
on
please find the
Proud
video,
mode,
'cause
it
I'm
is
very curious.
faster to die to Darkside 1 than it is to actually beat him. Beginner and Standard don't have a choice, but Proud and Proud level 1 both will take a death
Reset
there.
why? Because I died.
Yeah. On the other difficulties, you just die. It takes forever to die. It's just faster to kill them.
Yep.
Yeah, 1 of 3 places in the game where you can just take a death and it will actually advance the plot. So you take advantage of that on Proud. The
Hook is a
experience
dumb
isn't
fight.
worth it.
Yeah. And then here we're just doing some platforming. Platforming in this game is kind of snappy
Also, where's
in
that video
the
of someone
fact
getting
that you can
ISG and
swing your
back to the
keyblade.
heart? I'm still. No one has said that.
You can swing your
Still.
keyblade to get over an edge, which is very, very nice. Jumping over that water there to skip a little bit of swimming also saves like half a second.
Especially that weird transitionary period when you
there's
first get into the
supposedly all
swimming
these
animation.
awesome
It's
clips that
extremely
have
slow,
happened
but if you
that
jump
I've
into
Yeah.
it, it's really nice.
Ever.
Yeah, it's kind of, people always talk about it like comparing even Kingdom Hearts 1 to 2. 1, a lot of people probably remember when you casually played this, oh, the platforming felt very clunky. So Square's response to that, Cage 2, there's no platforming practically until to get into that core and stuff. We won't talk about that. But it actually, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 is one of the more satisfying early games in the series for optimizing your movement in, that you learn all these little, like, you swing a Keyblade up on top of a ledge and it like kind of boosts you up on top. And a lot of those can be fun to learn, actually, in addition to the combat.
Yeah, for sure. So Yeah, there. Earlier we were locking onto some fish. I'm surprised by the amount of people coming into my chat who didn't know you can lock onto the fish. But yeah, if you lock on, it makes it so much easier.
By any chance?
And then just collecting a mushroom. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit, walking out of the cave.
That mushroom is a lot harder to pick up quickly than it looks, by the way.
Yeah, you have to like come in from behind. The hitbox is very weird.
It's very weird.
No, 60 FPS patch would not allow for.
And then we're gonna race Riku. And the cool thing about Riku that people don't know is has to do with the zip line. If you want to use the zip line, a lot of people struggle with it, but all you have to do is jump and not touch your controller.
You can put it in the Discord.
If you hold forward on your analog stick, Sora will do this flip animation because he's technically ledge grabbing, and he'll just let go, and it's very sad.
We're not saying the platforming's good that they made it, but obviously in the course of speedrunning the game, you learn how to work with it. So you basically just jump on this and drop into neutral.
Just jump.
Yep.
It is pretty clever how they recycled the ledge grab animation, though. Just for with this one instance of gameplay.
Yeah. And yeah, so that was a pretty good race, and you'll see that at the end here, I'll have to wait for Riku a little bit. That means I pretty much did the race as fast as possible. There's only a certain amount of speed you can go before the game's like, nope, you're going too fast, you're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, it makes it a little more forgiving where Violin knows you saved the most amount of time you could in that race.
Right. And then we're gonna head down, collect a mushroom, and then some coconuts. Coconuts in this game are RNG, but there's this specific tree has the highest drop rate of coconuts for whatever reason. So I'm just gonna lock on and unlock and get bad RNG.
I'd actually, maybe runners do it, and maybe this is the 2022 tech. I had never seen people actually kind of start back behind the tree like you did right there to kind of catch some of those. Because a lot of times it can be easy to not notice that a ripe coconut is just falling directly behind the tree. I feel like that kind of covers your bases a little bit better to where you can react faster.
Yeah, and then locking and unlocking helps a lot with that as well.
How convenient.
Yeah, when I was first learning this game, I thought all the runners were target switching. And when I was going through 87 different trees after the first coconut, I was so confused. But no, you just tap R1, untap it, and you're good to go.
Yeah. I think some runners do use target switching, but I don't know how to do that. So we have a bunch of cutscenes here. I'm just going to skip through them.
Yeah, that is a series of 7 cutscenes in a row you get to skip right there. Again, on PlayStation 2, you couldn't skip cutscenes. It was great.
If mod wants to update it,
You're probably half an hour into the run right now.
I'd appreciate that.
I remember watching a PS2 runner named Glitched, and he literally took a nap during these cutscenes.
Yeah, this is a pretty optimal
Just
spot
on
to
camera.
do it, yeah. So, and now you got really the first big boss fight of the run coming up here in Darkside 2. This time, we can't take the death abuse. We got to death abuse him. We got to knock him out. And it's actually, you would think, oh, it'd be an easy early game fight. This is actually a very difficult strategy that Violin's going to be pulling off.
I think it's one of the hardest fights in the run.
I agree.
Because you have to parry these orbs at a very specific time, and it requires a lot of practice.
Yes, you see these orbs are shooting out from his chest. He's going to sandbag the combo slightly to get that little horizontal finisher right there to smack those into the hand.
Yeah, so I'm delaying these combos a lot.
That double
That was so
reflect.
good. God, that was so good.
Yeah, let's see that. Let's see that double reflect again.
This is so much harder
pairing
than it
two
looks.
orbs. Yeah, pairing 2 orbs at the same time. It's really precise timing.
And on top of that, if you miss that tight timing, you have to rely on even more critical hits, which is a 20% chance of Kingdom Key.
Right, let me go back and explain that real quick. Let me show you what a crit looks like. Because crits do matter in this category.
Yeah, there was one.
Basically, your Keyblade has a chance to deal more damage on a finisher. Every Keyblade has its own percentage chance, and you'll see When we switch to like wishing starts 100%, with Kingdom Key it's way lower, but it does matter because it deals. I think Majora's told me
it's
like
4 strength above what you currently have, without strength bonus. So if you have,
it's a big difference.
so if we have 10 strength here, for example, with your Kingdom Key, you're gonna be doing a 14 crit.
Yeah, there's a crit.
Yeah, so you see this red circle
Yeah,
right here,
yeah.
that's a crit, and it also makes a distinct sound. But if you get 0 crits on this fight, you pretty much have to wait for his hand to come back down, and it wastes a lot of time.
Yeah, it's like,
So
what, 10 seconds?
Yeah, you have to get a bit lucky with these, and parry all the orbs at the same time.
Yeah, which he parried every single orb right there. So that's why we saw a lot of counting of like he'll do a full combo, and then as the orb's coming out, 1, 2, sandbag, 1, 2, 3. So those just time out better because those orbs are very important to depleting that health bar quickly. So here we are in World 2, Traverse Town.
Yep, and our goal here is to kill 5 shadows, and that will spawn Leon.
Definitely had to.
You don't have to go around the entire world. You just have to kill 5 shadows. And I'm going to position myself here in a way so I can catch multiple shadows in the same combo. Let's see if I do it. Let's see if I get lucky.
Yeah, it's RNG whether
Okay.
they jump in the middle.
Yeah, so that was three in one combo. Not bad, not bad. And then I killed 2 more right there. And I'm going to take an intentional hit here. One thing I didn't mention is shadow attacks. The shadows have 2 different attacks, and their jump attack does double damage compared to their swipe attack. So we want to look for the jump attack.
Yeah, wanted to do that to set up for this Leon fight afterwards, where Leon is not strong enough to one-shot you, so this puts you in range. Because he's got, a lot of times, if he doesn't one-shot you, he can waste a bunch of time. Oh, we got Fireball.
Yeah, Fireball is the best pattern. He can also jump at you, which wastes like 5 seconds. And then this cutscene you can't skip until Riku opens his eyes. I'm trying to advance through the video, but it won't let me. Give me a sec. Okay.
Well, they said it's not.
So now we're gonna talk to Yuffie,
I can believe that much.
and that's gonna allow us to open this chest right here. This is an elixir, which we're not gonna use until the Dragon Maleficent fight.
Yeah, this category has had a lot of cool routing done,
music is
where
playing
if you
during the
beat
fight.
Leon, he will give you an elixir
I mean, that could
towards the end of the
happen.
world,
That
but
could
it is just
happen in normal
not
game too,
fast
where the
enough
music cuts
to
out.
warrant
Doesn't
beating
necessarily have to be in mod
Leon
then.
to get that elixir, where we just instead take a death.
could
And
be.
the extra experience also doesn't do enough to be worth it, so we just save some time on dying to Leon back there.
Yeah, again, the final
Yeah, and
level
then-
we're building towards is level
I mean,
43,
I
which
think
has a big strength upgrade on it. But sorry, go ahead.
It
Yeah.
definitely has to do with
That elixir we're missing on Leon, we're actually gonna get a different elixir in Wonderland, which you'll see. And here I'm just trying to hit soldiers while commanding Donald and Goofy to attack. Donald one-shots enemies with fire, so that's what we're
That's already
looking
a
for.
red flag.
Another incredibly
and then-
difficult fight.
Yeah, delaying that combo right there to parry that attack. And then doing very specific attacks here. Trying to avoid doing a finisher at the start to not stagger guard armor too early. And then we were able to get a second stagger right there. And then this will drop guard armor to the floor. We'll be able to do a little bit of cleanup. I'm prioritizing the hand here because it gives me the most trouble, so you want to get rid of that as fast as possible. And then focus on the legs. And looks like this was a pretty good fight.
Yeah. And right here, you have to wait for guard armor to kind of get into position, because you can't actually damage the torso until it stops moving right there.
Yeah.
And again, that might all look like it was just, it almost seemed random, all the target switching, sometimes attacking the hand, sometimes attacking the leg. It's all has a lot of a lot of specifics to it, to why he wanted to damage down one of them at a time to eventually deplete all of them in the most efficient way possible.
Yeah. So here we have a just some text. I'm going to skip over. Donald's going to give us fire. Goofy's going to give us dodge roll. We're actually going to take 1 ether from Goofy and put it on Sora. That's going to allow us to use that for Power Wilds and Deep Jungle. Let me pause this a little bit. I'm going very fast here. This is Brave Warrior. It increases our strength by 1, I believe.
It's 1.
Majoris can correct me. Yeah, by 1. And then I also equip dodge roll. And I'm also going to change my magic shortcut for fire to be on circle instead of triangle, because that's just better.
That's
Just works
just-
out better.
We got a fire on circle fan here. All right. All right. Well, you have world
I'm gonna have
records,
to-
so I guess that's correct then.
Yeah, it's the only correct option. And then here I'm going to edit my gummy ship. I'm going to remove all of the armor, put on a gun and an engine. And the reason I'm removing armor is because armor slows down the gummy ship in KH1. The more armor you have, the slower it'll be. So we just take it all off.
Yeah, gummy ships, so like they're not like terribly fascinating to watch. Obviously, like Kingdom Hearts 2 for the PlayStation 2, their gummy missions were pushing that console to like its graphical limits, honestly.
Yeah.
But what's cool about these is there's actually a lot of ways to speed it up. It checks for like what weight classification you're in. So that's why Violin took all the armor off. It checks
already
for
been 4
what your
hours, holy
strongest
cow.
engine gummy is,
Time goes by
which
so
we just have the
fast.
basic fire engine gummy right here, so it's gonna be based on that. But we'll be upgrading that throughout the run. And there's also a way you can basically give it almost imagine like a Star Fox 64 style boost in the haste gummies, which we will all also be seeing in later portions of the run. So there's actually a lot that goes into making these go faster. And you might think like, well, is going into the gummy garage, is that really worth the time? Violin is making back that time in the garage on this first mission alone. So it's very fast.
You can also see him hugging the top right corner here, and this is a pseudo safe spot for this specific mission, where you will only take 1 hit. Violin already dodged it a while ago, but that is the only hit you will take in this entire mission. If you're on beginner or standard, you can completely just put yourself in the top right corner for this, and you will live. For proud categories, you do have to dodge that 1 hit.
Yeah.
And it does work on the way back, you just have to go in the top left corner instead.
Yeah. So the gummy mission going back to Traverse Town is just the same mission but mirrored.
Right.
And then PC, the
Oh,
PC
baby.
port introduced this unskippable cutscene. Very cool. Nice
Beautiful.
5 seconds.
Beautiful.
If they got if they're gonna miss one, make it the one of the rabbit running for 5 seconds. Like, I'll take it.
Yeah. Right.
It wasn't like the Riku Ansem cutscene or something. We're like, well,
Oh god.
time for 4 minutes of this monologue. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just skipping through some text here. Going to the Lotus Forest. Oh yeah, another thing to mention is I'm playing on the Japanese version in this PB, which is 45.6 seconds faster than English because of text scrolling speed. So the text scrolls faster on this version than any other version.
It's probably even a tiny bit higher than that because of the Wishing Star stuff, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's still that much. I didn't know if the clip and the English clip would cut into that 45 seconds. It's 45
No, that-
seconds even with that. That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So right here, I actually we spawn enemies and then we go up on this mushroom while mashing triangle to command our party towards us, and then all the enemies despawn, and then we get this evidence.
Yeah,
On all the other categories, we just get rid of that wave of enemies, but it's faster on this one to despawn.
yeah. General mechanic in that bottom left corner. If you have a blue command menu,
sorry,
you can
Gilmer. I
like
hope you feel
interact
well
with
soon.
stuff
Thank
and
you for
everything.
good luck.
And like open up boxes and chests and whatnot. If it's red, that means you're in combat and you can't do that stuff. All right, did you get it?
Maybe. So the way to tell, so we want the soldier heartless for this one. I got it. Nice.
Gamer.
So the way to tell which one it is the one that touches the ground first. It has the soldier in it, but it's very hard to tell on the PC port because it drops 2 times as fast. So, and then here I am purposefully delaying my combos because after every hit, the gear on the crank tower has a little bit of invincibility, and that was a best segment.
About to say that had to be a
Beautiful.
best segment. That was. It's actually. It
was
might
very
look like
good.
Violin just jumped and attacked, and like what was so
very rare to
impressive
get a
about it.
segment on
Like
Crank Tower.
actually doing
Like,
it that
that
efficiently
segment
was
was
really
already-
hard,
that
and a little
segment
bit
was
lucky
already
that the
really
cards
good.
weren't trying to like get in there or anything or deflect any of your attacks
Right.
or
and
steal
Crank
your
Tower-
lock on.
The crank tower also has this weird thing where once you break all the cranks, sometimes the tower itself is not targetable. So he got, I don't know if it was good luck or we just don't understand how it works yet, but
We can go back and see exactly what happened. Let me see.
So the way I
sometimes
thought,
it just shows up.
the way I thought this worked is as soon as you hit the tower itself once,
Yeah.
then it is targetable. So yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
okay. So
Right
you
there.
you didn't get the yellow marker over an enemy, so it didn't send Sora flying to
Right.
some other place.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that was very lucky.
And sometimes you'll have the yellow marker show up immediately, even after a finisher. You haven't even hit the thing yet. It just shows up. It's weird.
So we have to examine that sign 2 times in order to sit on that chair. And sitting on the chair gives us that elixir I was talking about.
This is the most random elixir spawns in the game, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Doing a cool little ledge grab skip right here. And right there.
Are you about to dodge roll?
You better. You better.
Probably. I hope so.
This is such a scary dodge roll because basically the floor is lava right here. Yeah.
Nice.
If he falls down there, that's going to be a resetted run at that point.
Yeah, that spawns a billion enemies if you touch the floor.
It's like 15, 20 gone immediately.
So I jumped to that latch and then mashed out triangle there to open it up before the command menu turned red.
Yeah, that's another one of those really cool pieces of tech where you'll see us specifically going out of our way to dodge an enemy spawn just long enough to be able to interact with something during a blue menu.
Yeah. So this is Trickmaster. At the start of the fight here, I do an aerial fire, and then I jump to Trickmaster and do a full combo. That guarantees that Trickmaster will get stunned right here. And then we're just doing combos until our MP is full. And then I'm backing up and doing some fires. And now I'm utilizing the chair to get up to him and do another full combo. Basically, I'm just looking to do a lot of finishers because finishers do way more damage than regular hits. And then I'm utilizing fire when my MP bar is full because fire does more damage than normal hits. And I'm just repeating the same thing over and over, hoping to get a lot of crits here as well to speed up the fight. And if the fight is good enough, Trickmaster shouldn't go to the stove. Well, it looks like I grabbed the table by accident.
Yeah, ideally you never lose that chair right there. The chair is your best friend. He's probably already low on health. Plus you'll have more MP
Yeah.
right here that you can dump fires into him.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that was decent.
That was good.
Oh, a sub 19. I haven't got
Any
Yeah, this
fight
fight-
that ends before it gets to the stove is good. Go ahead, Majoris.
That's huge.
Yeah.
This fight is an absolute nightmare on Proud. It is so rough. So getting
Yeah.
it done that quickly is fantastic.
You're very, very weak in this category. And even on level 1, this fight is faster because you have Thunder, which deals way more damage than Fire.
Okay, Beltox.
Plus, it's just like an easier angle. Thunder just comes raining down from the heavens. Whereas
And it
fire,
doesn't-
you kind of have to get some position. He had to back up a little bit so the arc of it would shoot up into it.
And Thunder
And also to avoid...
doesn't light
Sorry,
up the matches.
I'll believe it.
Yes.
Right, yeah. I was going to say we have to position ourselves as well to prevent our fires from hitting Trickmaster's matches, because then he'll start shooting fireballs at us, which will kill us. But this is a very easy gummy mission. All you have to do is go to the very top and hold circle, and you won't get hit ever. So I'm just going to skip through this. It's very long.
Oh. Well, I
Oh my
learned
God,
something
that
today.
was so many skipping. Yeah, I actually appreciate Violin has made a lot of tutorials. I've actually been using it relearning Proud. You've made tutorials on a bunch of different categories for this game. And I appreciate that you came up with sit here in this gummy mission and you get a bathroom break. It's great, you know. So
Yeah, I love my lazy strats.
right.
This is another fight here where I'm going to death abuse because it's faster.
Oh, nice.
And I got very good RNG
Yeah,
there.
that's good. Doesn't it usually roar there?
Yeah. So Boar can roar there, and if she does roar there, you can attack her. I think it's 5 times to build up an extra MP. But it's fine. And then here, there's going to be a quick menu. I am unequipping the first, second, and fourth ability on Tarzan, and that leaves his cure ability to be the only one that he can do. And I also equipped the bottom 2 critical pluses, which will allow him to do more crits.
Yeah, you're basically turning Tarzan into a bit of a heal bot because until you beat this world, you don't have cure or anything. So, and throwing potions is very unsafe and slow.
Yeah, and you would assume that we want Tarzan to heal us, to heal Sora, but actually, Tarzan's cure is primarily used on Donald so that he survives during the Clayton fight. Because we need Donald to use MP on Clayton for it to be a fast fight.
Oh, that's actually super creative. I never knew that.
Yeah. Normally, Tarzan doesn't actually heal you because your HP doesn't really get low enough. It's weird how it works.
Yeah, it's like percentage based, kind of like MP gift. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, collecting this item in the tent, we're just going to sell that later for some gummy parts, and then we can use those gummy parts to make our shit faster.
You can see us leaving the world here. This is PS4 and newer tech, where the time that we take leaving the world and re-entering at a different save point is actually just faster than traveling there by foot, especially since we now go by loadless timers.
Yeah.
So we just save a bunch of free time, and it's much easier that way.
But then it's followed by Ogi Manor, which
Yeah,
is
save
just
warping is
top
very,
down
very
level
fast.
1. Is the
Yeah,
worst fight.
bring it back to the PS3 days where just if you could avoid a load screen, you would do it. Here we invite them because it got pretty fast on PS4 Plus.
Final Rust
Yeah,
isn't
and
bad.
on PS3 you have to go through the Hippo's
I
Lagoon.
also haven't done it in a
Yeah.
while.
And that's honestly a really hard strat too, Hippo Hop.
Yeah. And then on that jungle slider minigame, you can actually quit out of it, and you'll get transported to the tent area, campsite.
And now you got the Power Wilds coming up. 5 sets of mob fights here that are very hard to optimize.
Yeah, I'm just trying to use Blizzard on the. Just look out for which power walls are grouped together and focus on those.
Yeah, Blizzard
And
giving
then
you
using
that,
physical hits.
Blizzard giving you that nice kind of spread shotgun approach to try to blow everything up. And even there,
Yeah.
you'll be seeing Violin favor jumping into his blizzards throughout this run.
Right. I'm also going to swap in Tarzan here because he will do more damage to the power wilds. Also on Proud, we have to manage our MP very carefully here because we only have 2 MP, which doesn't give us a lot to work with. So there I did 2 blizzards on the first group of power wilds, and now I'm using only physical hits because I want to build up MP for the next fight. It's very, very specific how much MP I'm using. We don't have the what's it called? The advantage that beginner and level 1 have of getting 3 MP.
As Spike mentioned, you'll see us doing these jump blizzards, and that's because if you've ever done ground magic in this game, you'll know that it has a lot of lag between shots, with the exception of fire, where we actually sometimes want to do ground fires. But these air blizzards, you completely eliminate that landing lag, and you can fire them off extremely quickly.
Right.
I really want everyone to appreciate, like, the hitting things that short in this game on those quick air combos, incredibly difficult. You can dump 100 hours just into trying to do those quickly. Beautiful 4th Power Wilds right there. Setting you up still with 1 blue MP bar right there.
What you're talking about.
And then I
Toss the
used an
ether.
ether right
Yeah.
there. I'm gonna hit this power wall twice and then back up to basically make them come towards me, and that'll make sure that they're grouped up a little more. You can like hit power walls and then bait them towards you.
Oh.
My blizzards missed there.
Those are some
Yeah.
unfortunate blizzards.
Yeah, Power
Yeah.
Wilds are jerks. They can just dodge out of the way whenever you want, or whenever you don't want
Yeah,
them
and-
to.
Oh, Calm doesn't have.
And yeah,
right?
power walls are 2 to 3 shot. If they jump at you, that's an automatic 2 shot right there. So you have to be very, very careful.
So we're going into Sabor 2 here. This fight is very strange. She is incredibly fast and really, really low to the ground. Makes her very difficult to air combo, so Violin's going to opt to do some ground combos here. Stun lock her in the loading zone for the bamboo. No, this is the bamboo grove to the cliff. And let the party members just absolutely destroy her.
Beautiful fight. Getting her stuck, like Major was saying, basically getting her stuck in that load zone to where she can't jump into the bamboo, and then have Tarzan and Donald come over and just have an absolute party.
Yeah, and Donald's magic does a lot of damage because he has 3 MP. And then Tarzan has his 2 critical pluses. And then right here, we're equipping White Fang, which you get from Sabor. That increases our strength by 1? Okay, yeah. So now we have Brave Warrior and White Fang. That 1 strength makes a huge difference.
Yeah, the difference between Brave Warrior and White Fang is the Brave Warrior, they both increase your strength by 1, but Brave Warrior increases your HP by, I think, 3, while White Fang increases your defense by 1.
All right. And then we have this fruit, which we have to hit 15 times, no matter how strong we are.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
Yeah, fun fact, I was messing with this on Cheat Engine. If you set the value to 0, the fight doesn't automatically end and the value can go negative. So it just checks if it goes from 1 to 0, and that's it.
That's funny.
And there's a very niche glitch in this game called ISG, Infinite Sword Glitch, which will deal a ton of hits while the hitbox is active, and that completely breaks that whole fight.
I didn't know we were commenting Ocarina of Time tonight. That's great. Anyways, Clayton, another very difficult fight that's very easy to die in. Beautiful phase 1.
Yeah, so at the start here, I'm dodge rolling back, landing on this platform, and then I'm going to wait for the Stealth Sneak to jump up at me, and then I'm going to do 2 combos here to get a cool thing called Animation Skip, which basically, when Stealth Sneak turns from invisible to visible, there's a long, like, 10-second animation that I can do, but if we if the animation tries to play while Stealth Sneak is falling off the platform, it'll just skip the entire animation. So that's what you'll see right here. Yeah, so
There it is.
That was so good.
There it was. We're baiting Stealth Sneak to come to this corner so we can trap Clayton, and we're trying to do as many full combos as we can because, again, finishers do more damage.
Come on, Donald, keep going.
And I'm also trying to get Donald to do blizzards because that also deals a lot of damage.
Oh, that is unlucky. The arc
Yeah.
he took right there was absolute. That was, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, I lost 13 seconds
Hollow Bastion.
on that fight. That was very unlucky.
Yeah, so as Violence said, he's trying to do as many full combos as he can, but he also has to weigh the risks where if he does a finisher, finishers send enemies flying. So if he does a finisher at the wrong time, Clayton could slip out. But ideally, when he does the finishers, he will just be sending him into a corner. Here, we're going to go ahead and grab the last 2 chests in the Waterfall Cavern, which I believe is an Orichalcum and a Mithril.
The difference
Yep.
with
Or a
Crisis
Mithril
Core is
Shard,
they
one of the
didn't
2.
turn Crisis Core into an HD
And these are just going to be
movie and
used
sell it
to
in
sell
a
to Sid,
remaster package.
later to buy gummy parts.
Scary jump right here. Nice. Was able to get it.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could open chests from behind.
Oh, yeah, the little tap from behind.
Yeah.
CD. Like
Yeah.
arcade
There's got to be some
You'd open them from the
randomizer
side,
tech
too.
in there. Yeah.
But yeah, from this world, we also get the Cure spell, which we're going to utilize a lot in this category. We cure a lot. And then we also get Red Trinity, which is required to beat the game. So besides this, we have 2 gummy missions back to back. So we're going to do the old Skipperoonie. Whoa.
Yeah, because what you're doing, you're going back the exact same way, back to Wonderland and then over to Traverse Town. Anybody, a quick note, we're obviously only doing the required worlds to get through this run.
Mario Bot,
Olympus Coliseum being among those, you never have to go to it.
Right.
There's nothing the game checks for where you had to beat Deep Jungle in order to get that Red Trinity, like Violin was talking about, utilizing the Red Trinity right here. Nice double Blizzard.
Yeah, utilizing Blizzard right there to kill those yellow operas, and then despawning the rest of the Heartless to access the Red Trinity early. And then from Leon, we're going to get the Earthshine gem, which is going to give us access to Simba later. I'll skip through this text a little bit. There's a lot of text in this world.
Yeah, this is basically, this whole world visit especially is a lot of errands. You come to Leon, he tells you about the gummy parts, he tells you about Earthshine, doesn't tell you what to do with them because he's very helpful. Then we leave, and we're gonna go talk to Sid, because Leon told us that, oh, I know a guy, so we're gonna go talk to Sid, and he's gonna tell us, oh, I'll tell you what these gummy ships do, but you gotta deliver this book for me to some old hermit in a weird magical den. And then we're actually gonna go see the weird old magical hermit now, because it's faster.
I didn't know this was right. I still only know English routing. That's fine.
Heavily inspired by Mario.
I go for the swag fire right here.
Oh yeah, this fire's a lot harder on JP too, because you have enemies. Air soldiers can give you a little love tap.
And then these rocks right here move at a random pattern.
Oh.
You just have to adapt. And also, I was saying in my video, if Mario 64 didn't exist, this game wouldn't exist, because apparently Mario 64 is like the primary inspiration for this game.
I know, it's weird to think about that, but yeah. I think Mario 64 just being like, it was one of the first big 3D games. Obviously, I think that probably inspired. I think the more you play both those games, you can kind of see it, honestly.
Yeah. And then Merlin's doing a little dance here. Skip more text.
Yeah, there's definitely the slowest world in general, like we were talking about. And it's kind of what's supposed to happen in this world is there's supposed to be a boss fight with opposite armor at the end. But we're not going to fight him until we absolutely have to advance the plot. The next thing that you're trying to do to like advance to the next stage of the game is defeat Neverland and defeat opposite armor. Once you do those two things, you can go to the end game portion of the run. But opposite armor, until then, you don't have any requirement to do it. So we're like, what, level like 10 or 11 right now? We're going to come back when we're 30 plus and we're just going to slaughter it.
Finally get to chill, poggers.
Yeah. So utilizing save warping right there to go back to the accessory shop quickly. Going through a lot of text. Sid is going to give us the book, and we're going to give that to Merlin. And then I'm basically, in this menu, I am selling all of my items except the elixir, because that's the only one we need. Then we have enough money now to buy the haste gummy and the fire gummy.
Yep.
Not switch.
Yeah, so upgrading that engine gummy, like I was saying, from fire to Fyra, which just makes you naturally faster. And you'll see the haste gummy giving you that, again, that almost like Star Fox 64 like boost across. This is cool. I did not know this was the route you guys use now, where you double tripped into Merlin's house. That's cool.
Yeah.
And now you get to talk to the fairy godmother, who gives you summons.
Yeah, and there's Simba.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Simba, very, very good. Summons are generally that thing when people watch Kingdom Hearts speedrunning. We'll use summons, and people will be like, oh, I never use these. And I didn't use, a lot of us didn't use them either. We didn't know how good they were. Simba is incredibly good, and there's no like glitches or tricks to him or anything. I think it's worth like, while we're getting to the end of this world, again, mostly plot going on here, I think just a general mechanic of the game that you could point out, I'll leave this to you, Violin, to let you talk a little bit more, is exactly how your MP is decided how strong it is.
Oh yeah, so KH1 is the only Kingdom Hearts game in the series where the damage that your MP does, your magic does, is determined by your maximum MP. So right now, because I have 3 magic, 3 MP, I'm dealing more damage than before when I had 2 MP. While in all other KH games, MP and magic are 2 separate stats. But in KH1, it's all one and the same.
50%.
Yeah, to add a little bit to that, the magic and strength actually share a very similar formula. The sort of strength stat is considered power, which is how your base spells interact with your magic. So fire interacts with your 3 MP to get you a magic power stat, which is representative of your strength stat. That's sort of how it plays with. So the more MP you have, the more magic power you have, which is more in relation to enemy defense, more damage. That's how it plays.
Oh. So yeah, there I bought the 2 gummies from Sid, and then I am warping to Wonderland to get closer to this warp hole, which will save us a little bit of time. And I'm also going to
Good.
put on the 2 gummy parts, which you'll see. What was your question?
I always like, because if you look at the world map right here, the warp hole looks super close to Traverse Town, but in reality,
Yeah.
it's very close to Wonderland. So even though you have to go through this like warp animation and everything, yeah, it looks way closer to Traverse
It's
Town.
very misleading.
Yeah, it's actually, you're going to come right up on it. And this, even in PS3 days, this saved like 4 seconds or so. It's got to be more now because load times are faster. If it saved 4 seconds on PS3, it saves an hour here. So,
Yeah.
Calculator speed.
yeah, you can really start to see he's going to like start flying across these gummy missions.
Yeah, holding square and circle the entire time will let us boost and also stay safe. Oh, during this part of the gummy mission, you can just stay in the top right. And then you'll see, lazy strat. See, I'm drinking water. The magic of lazy strats.
One-handed, baby. Let's go.
And then you'll see those two enemies right there that just passed me. They one-shot you.
Yes.
But all you have to do to avoid them is not move.
iPhone store.
Fun fact.
Yeah, it is probably worth
Just
pointing
don't
out
move.
that just on Kingdom Hearts 1, a lot of the other, I don't think any of the other Kingdom Hearts games, like if you play Cage 2 on beginner or crit, the gummy missions are just as hard. Like everything hits you for the same amount of damage. On Cage 1, that's not the case. So on Proud Mode, they will unapologetically one-shot you. They'll have ships fly up from behind you and just slam into your booty and take you out in one shot. So you do actually have to pay attention during these, even though it seems like they are a complete break. Worst
And not just enemies, but random walls as well. You want to avoid flying through. Yeah, worst
terrain.
rolled. Agrabah, yay.
Let's see how this goes
So-
in PB.
Here we go.
Only 134K? That's nothing.
So, skipping text. There's Jasmine. We're going to see our first usage of Simba in a little bit. And to explain how Simba works is the longer you charge the, what is it? The charge bar? I think it's called the charge meter. The
That's right.
longer you charge it, the more damage Simba does. And depending on how strong the enemies are, he can completely clear entire waves of enemies. It's very, very useful.
While we were in Aladdin's house there for a second, we went ahead and touched the save point, which is going to be useful for a save warp later. And we also grabbed a Mega Elixir that Aladdin definitely obtained legally.
Yeah. I was always like, that's the first Mega Elixir in the game. Why is it just chilling in Aladdin's house? My man got that off the market. So. Simba. This summon's awesome.
Simba.
Simba.
It's a shame
Yeah.
he takes so long to summon.
Yeah, you can't skip summon animations in KH1, unfortunately. Yeah, clearing that first wave with one charge, and then I was waiting for 5 more bandits to spawn there, but I got 1 late spawner, which that's RNG. Sometimes happens. Sometimes you can get multiple late spawners, and it's terrible.
I'm sorry, what do you say?
Relatively fast cleanup there, at least.
$300 headphones.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go into this room right here and save warp to Aladdin's house. That skips having to unlock all the keyholes in order to get back normally.
I like to call it Bandit Skip Skip.
Yep.
Yeah. And then here we're going to swap Aladdin into our party because he deals a lot more damage. Donald is pretty useless. We're putting on Jungle King. We're unequipping the second ability. What is that
Sandstorm.
in English? Sandstorm. And then we're equipping, what is it? Critical
Critical Plus.
Plus
Another critical
right there.
plus, yep.
Yeah, and We're also going to steal all of Aladdin's items. Oh, we're also putting a scan on Sora. We're also going to steal Aladdin's items, all of them, so that he can't heal himself during Pod Centipede, because we don't want him alive.
Nice to meet you,
We don't
pal.
want him-
I'll be taking that.
We don't want him killing any pods. Oh, and right there, I got
great
a
orange.
black. Yeah, when I enter this room, you can see that my command menu is already red. And down here, there are enemies called black fungus. They're like annoying mushroom type enemies, and they take forever to deal with and are weak to gravity. Sucks we don't have gravity. So it's faster to just leave the room and come back and get the normal enemy spawn.
Yeah, there's 2 points in this game where unfortunately you can just get those mushroom-like enemies and they can just waste a lot of time.
Ooh.
Yeah, right there I locked onto the wrong enemy. I wanted to lock onto the bandit and trap him in the corner, but I'm just gonna deal with these enemies. I don't think I lost too much time, because the shadows down there, if you get far enough away, they'll actually despawn. Yeah, so that shadow despawned.
It does despawn. That's
Yeah, so once again, a lot of mitigating of too much time loss right there.
Yeah. And then we're gonna go up to Aladdin's house and then go back down. It's actually faster in real time to go around, but because we're using loadless timing, we go through Aladdin's house to cut out a little bit of time with loads, kind of manipulating the load remover in a way. That's the only spot in the game where we do that. Okay, and then at the start of the fight here, I'm doing 2 combos on Pot Centipede, and then you can see this Pot Spider already coming down. I do 2 combos, and then I back away because I know that Pot Spider is going to jump from behind and completely destroy me if I don't back away. So I've had too many runs die to that specific Pot Spider. It's horrible.
I'm pretty sure everything 2-shots you here, right?
Yeah, everything is a 2-shot.
Yeah, and this
now,
fight is chaos given form. It is. You can see how many enemies are just jumping around. Every single one of those pots is an enemy. The tail has an active hitbox. The head has an active hitbox. It's just brutal, and they spawn constantly. And you actually need them to live as well, because Pot Centipede cannot reform unless there's enough pots around. So when stuff like that happens,
was scary, yeah.
Yeah.
you have little scary moments.
Yeah, so we want Pot Centipede to form with 2 pots. Unfortunately, I'm getting very unlucky here. I'm
Yeah.
waiting way much longer than normal.
There
we
it
go.
goes.
So we want 2 pots in between so we can combo the head and the tail at the same time. Right now, there's a bit of a gap between the 2 pots, though, so it's kind of hard to do that. But
Yeah, you can kind of see how that wide swing can reach back and the finisher can hit both pieces.
and then I just got parried by a random. It's horrible. And then at the end of the fight here, you want to pass that load zone, and it'll. Oh, I want to point out on the bottom of my splits, I had 1 minute to save on that fight. I only saved 17 seconds.
Yup, I'd believe that. I would believe that. God, that fight is so bad.
Yeah, I lost
Good
over
Lord.
40 seconds. Yeah. But yeah, that'll put us close to this load zone, which will allow us to get to Tiger Head as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because the game remembers what room you ended that fight in, and it basically breaks all the load zone triggers there. But now you got Tiger Head, another very punishing fight here on Proud Mode.
Yeah, at the start of the fight here, we want to get on top of the head as fast as possible and attack the eye before he starts moving. That'll put him into this weird state where he keeps shooting lasers from his eyes without moving his head. We're just gonna do full combos between the eyes, very precisely to parry every single laser. And then once Tiger Head starts moving his head, we're gonna use blizzards on the eyes to deal more damage.
Just getting all those deflections right there. So again, kind of similar to that Dark Side 2 boss fight we saw at the beginning of the run.
And right there, I actually healed Aladdin because later in this fight, it'll spawn a lot of enemies, a lot of bandits, and it'll keep shooting lasers. When your entire party is dead, those lasers and those bandits will prioritize Sora, and you don't want that. So you want at least one of your party members to be alive to prevent anything terrible from happening, because it's also a 2-shot in this fight.
Yeah, it's another, that's very creative.
It looks like I got a very good pattern here where Tiger Head continued to shoot lasers without moving its head. Sometimes it can just start moving its head right away.
What is Aladdin doing here? Okay, that was weird.
Okay, that was a good fight.
What is Aladdin doing? My man
Dude,
absolutely
Aladdin.
trying out for the NBA. Launched himself up there. That was great.
Here we're gonna do a cool little swing while we're dropping down to jump on that platform. That saves having to do a lot of swimming right there. Cool little optimization.
And one thing that's important to note about Tiger Head
wanted
before
to
we
feel it
get too
moving.
far away from it is that those lasers, they don't just damage you, they push you too. They will knock
Yeah.
you off the head, and once you're off the head, especially once one eye is gone, it is near impossible to get back up, especially on Proud Mode where everything is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that fight can go so badly, so quickly.
I've lost a lot of runs to that.
Yeah, it's kind of the I don't know if you'd say issue of like showing the successful speed run at the end of a grind of months of getting there is you're seeing, oh, it probably looked like he just swung at the eyes a lot and it died. You didn't see the 100 runs that died to Tiger Head before that. So I'm sorry, you're getting this jump
Right.
over the elixir right here.
Yeah, this is an elixir right here. We're gonna use that. We don't start using elixirs until Hollow Bastion. So
Yeah.
we're just stocking up on a lot of elixirs and mega elixirs for endgame. Touching the save point to refill our MP. And then we're gonna do some very fast combos here. It's very, very precise. We're gonna put Jafar in a bubble by using Blizzard. There's the Blizzard, and then as he's getting in the bubble, he's going to try to get away, but we're going to catch him just in time to prevent him from moving, and then we can wail at him. But I'm looking to do a specific amount of damage. I'm actually, I left Jafar at a certain amount of HP, because he does have an HP gate, where he just doesn't go... He just teleports immediately if you overdamage him. So that amount of HP is what you're looking for right there. Just a sliver off of the final HP bar. That's where you want to keep him. And then after that, you want to back away, mash triangle to summon Aladdin towards you. If you see that Aladdin is taking damage, you want to heal him so that he can help you on this second half of the fight. And we're going to do the very same thing as we did at the very start. And Aladdin with his not sandstorm. What is it called? Crescent something?
It's Crescent something. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, that
Beautiful
like
fight.
swipe that he does, it almost always does a guaranteed crit, which it does a lot of damage.
Yeah,
thing
That's
to-
very, very good.
very
thing to-
difficult 2-cycle going for right there. Go ahead, Majoris.
One thing to cover about the Jafar fight is you saw when Violin backed up towards the center there, when Jafar goes into that purple ghosty phase, which platform he goes to is dependent on where Sora is standing. So you can see here that he's standing right on the opposite side of where he wants Jafar to go. And once Jafar picks a platform, he will go to that platform every single time. And
Yeah.
it is something that's not super commonly known, but is so helpful when you're trying to do this fight quickly.
Yeah, it's a fight with a ton of moving parts. Once again, it looks like you're just kind of looking at it in a vacuum. You're just jumping and attacking a lot, but your positioning in the arena is important. How you're keeping Aladdin healthy, but also at the right spacing away and close to Jafar at different points in the fight. Dodging Genie, all this stuff coming into play right there.
Yeah. So at the start of the fight here, I'm going to do a little bit of RNG manipulation. I'm doing 3 blizzards in the air without moving my left analog stick. And then I'm going to start moving backwards, and I'll do 6 more blizzards. And that will manipulate Yago to move in a very specific pattern that I want him to move. And I'm also targeting Aladdin towards Yago right here, but after this first combo, I'm going to target Aladdin onto Genie Jafar so that he stops attacking Yago, because we don't want to over-damage Yago, because then he'll fly away early and he will never land. And when he doesn't land, it wastes like 20 to 30 seconds.
Okay.
So right there, targeted Genie Jafar, and I pressed triangle to make Aladdin focus on him.
Still works.
And now I'm making Aladdin attack Yago again. Parrying that boulder and then doing some blizzards for some extra damage. And then more full combos on Yago.
Yeah, really having to extend the height of each of those jumps.
Yeah.
As Violin mentioned, there are 2 active hitboxes in this fight for this health bar. One is Yago holding the lamp, and the other one is Genie Jafar off the edge, who can be targeted with blizzards, or if you somehow manage to get strike rate by this point, it also works. Things like that will also damage Genie Jafar.
Really did.
Yeah, so right there, I had to wait for Yago, so might as well do a little bit extra damage on Genie Jafar with blizzards. Oh, I got hit by that boulder. Am I gonna heal? Or am I just gonna risk it? Oh,
Gotta play safe.
I almost died right there.
Saw that fist coming your way. That was great.
Wait, Sushi, what was your
That's funny, I just said I almost died right there, and then I said in the VOD, I almost died right there.
Okay, yeah. Believe it or not, you sound the same as yourself, so I actually did not catch.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But this is actually the last spot in the game where we take a nice death abuse. You can actually
Don't worry about it? Okay.
die in this. I believe Spike found this out, by the way.
Yeah.
I believe this is Spike's thing.
This is my thing. I have 2 contributions to Kingdom Hearts 1 speedrunning. It's dying here and it's dying later.
Aiming for
No, it's actually, I remember I was in a call with Mistmaster, a legendary Kingdom Hearts speedrunner, who just, the second place holder of Proud Mode that Violin just took world record from. I was in a call with him and he was like, we knew you could die there on Proud. They did not think it was possible on Beginner.
Really
I
excited.
proved them wrong. I died there on Beginner. You have to get hit by like every single boulder. And it's actually, there is a little bit of a nuance to making sure Sora actually taps the bottom of those boulders. It's very easy to just miss them.
I get what you mean.
So,
Yeah, the carpet controls are very wonky.
That's
So
awesome.
takes a bit of practice. But on Proud, you die very quickly, so it's not that big of a deal.
super minor
we have a-
optimization right there. Actually selecting the warp hole, even though you're not going to take the warp hole, you're just going to fly right past it and go to that next world. But saves,
Yeah.
a half a second having to go over to the top right.
And then we're coming up to this warp hole right here. You want to completely avoid it.
Yeah.
I've had a run where I was browsing my phone and then I accidentally went into. You don't want to do that. Don't do that. Don't text and drive. But yeah, just a gummy mission, and then Monstra. Hi.
It's Monstra.
I love being able to skip through these. It's great.
Wish we could do that in the speedrun.
DSA is the European.
Yeah.
No, they're
So
actually.
Monstro-
Yeah, go ahead.
Monstro is such a great speedrun world, in my opinion, because it is super, super fast. All the fights are pretty consistent, all things considered. And the movement's really fun.
I don't know about consistent.
The first one's a little.
Australia has ASL.
It can be,
and so on.
But yeah, it does
Yeah.
have some actually very fun movement to it, and it's the movement when you're running through the dungeon is an absolute banger. It's one of my favorite tracks actually in KH1.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so good.
Again, jumping into the water to avoid having to do that swimming startup animation. Saves a little bit of time. Then I'm gonna hop over this ledge, do some dodge rolls. And then there's a cool little skip here I'm gonna do called Chamber 3 skip, where we skip the entirety of Chamber 3. I hope I get it in PB. That'd be embarrassing if I didn't.
It is hard to do. This is not a free skip
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So you have to enter this loading zone facing straight at it, like the camera facing straight at it. And then when we come out, I'm going to do a swing onto this platform and then nudge myself up a little bit and then jump across to grab the ledge. And there we go.
Nice. That That is so much harder than
It is so much harder than it looks.
Mark Zuckerberg
Yeah.
announced no Facebook.
And it saves a decent chunk of time. You get to skip out on an entire area you can walk into. Dude, gargoyles suck. They're somehow are like little air pirate dudes.
Air soldiers.
Air
yeah.
soldiers, yeah, because there's actually air pirates in this game.
Yeah. And here on Proud, we like to equip the. Is it called 3 Wishes?
3 Wishes
I always get the name.
keyblade,
Yep.
Yeah, we equip 3 Wishes right there to do a little bit more damage. And we just we're trying to do combos here to keep Parasite Cage staggered. You want to do them fast enough so that it doesn't break out, and hopefully it works out. Parasite Cage can also randomly stop staggering, but looks like I got very lucky here.
Perfect fight. Let's go.
Yeah, you saw him trying to break out at the end right there.
It still counts. No break in the
Still
combos
counts.
right there.
Facebook account, you're gonna
And again,
have
like,
to volunteer
for the vast majority of this run, just to keep in mind, because obviously you're watching the world record, you're watching the fastest it's ever been done. Pretty much everything in the game 2-shots you. Occasionally things will
Yeah.
3-shot you. So if he were to get hit once, he has to either play it very risky and keep going, or he has to heal in, hopes that he doesn't get hit again.
If I do get hit, 90% of the time you will see me heal right after, because you just can't risk it. And then here I am equipping, I think it's Hurricane Blast,
Slap shots in there.
Slap Shot.
I think it's
Combo
actually slap
plus.
shot, combo plus, and counter attack, and you're putting on
The
high
counter
jump.
attacks in there,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hurricane
Yeah,
Blast
yeah.
is at level 27.
Right.
How about Facebook should
Yeah, that just shows you I don't read the menus, I just memorize inputs. I don't even know what I'm equiping, I'm just doing it.
When you run on English, you're like, okay, I actually see it there in front of me, but yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like, I know you've brought this up. Like, a lot of times in any, if they want to hit you, they're going to hit you. I'll bring it up after the fight. Let's do Parasite Cage 2, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, at the start of this fight, you can actually do a quick little combo at the very start. Oh, I missed it.
It's hard.
Yeah, so you saw me get hit there and then heal immediately.
Bro, this is
But yeah, at the start of the fight, if you're fast enough, you can actually stagger Parasite Cage before it does any attack. But the first finisher will guarantee a stagger regardless. So here my goal is to keep doing finishers, hopefully get a lot of crits. When the mouth opens like this, you want to hug the right side, and right there I didn't hug the right side enough, so my finisher broke him out of that state. But if you hug the right side enough, you can keep doing finishers and prevent Parasite Cage from staggering, because you want to keep him with his mouth open as long as possible to maximize your damage output. I don't remember what happens here.
Yeah. Now he kind of has to get off an attack before you can like re-stagger
Yeah.
him. He's in a state where he can't get staggered, but now he should be able to.
Yeah, so right there, I purposefully retreated back to bait Parasite Cage to do this lunge attack. After the lunge attack, there's a small window where you can do a full combo and stagger the boss again. Let's see if I get it. Yeah, there we go.
Nice. Now pretty
And then
much, Violence should be
Let's
able to
see.
combo this all the way to the end, but it's a long way to go. Look at how far Sora's feet are off the ground. It's like a quarter of another Sora foot. That's how quickly he's trying to get out these combos. These are so hard to do, man. I've been running this
Yeah.
game for 8-10 years. I still can't do them. It's so hard.
What's a good flounder?
Yeah, I swear I drop an input every single time I do that fight. At least one input. Yeah, from this world we get the stop spell, which we're going to use in the next world a little bit.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I was like, when does stop actually get to come into play? Stop, a lot of people, kind of the standard we talked about, no one used summons, and most people probably outside of like Cure or maybe Arrow, you didn't use magic much playing, Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts games. The magic is really, really good. And again, it's all tied to your max MP stats, so sometimes you'll see us load up on different pieces of equipment to give ourselves more MP to make the magic even stronger. And Stop is just one of those various extremely strong magics that you'll be seeing at different points in the run.
And we use pretty much every magic spell in this game, except for Thunder, because we never go to Olympus, because that world is optional. Here we're going to go back to Traverse Town for a quick little visit. We're going to go to Geppetto's house. And Geppetto's house has the Wishing Star Keyblade, which has very good strength and also guarantees critical damage when you do a slap shot or a finisher. The crit chance is 100%. So it's pretty much a necessity to have this Keyblade for the Ogi fight coming up because of his different HP gates.
Stupid stuff.
And just how the fight works in general.
Yeah, so going back to earlier, how we were talking about critical hits having a base increase of 4 strength. Wishing Star, I believe, has a +2 critical bonus on top of that for Final Mix. So every single one of your crits is dealing 6 damage above what your current strength is. And it's consistent, which is the best part. So every slap shot you get, every finisher you get, and with Combo Plus equipped, that means we can get 3 out of our 4 hits in our finisher, depending on your positioning, to be a guaranteed crit every single time.
Slapshot is really what I describe as like it makes ground combos actually viable in this game. It makes them go. And again, like Majoris is saying, position-wise, if you're right on top of a target and you try to go for a ground combo, almost always they'll go slap shot, overhead, slap shot, finisher, and hits 1, 3, and 4 will always be crits. So it's your damage output is actually kind of bonkers.
There I picked up the Water Gleam gem, which gives us access to Dumbo, and we'll be using that a bit later.
You also might be wondering. Why didn't we pick up the Water Gleam in Monstro? There's actually a good reason for that, and it's because we have to come back through Monstro anyway, and it's been timed multiple times, I believe, that it just doesn't save enough time to grab it on the first visit and then scoot by it on the second. You just grab it on the second visit.
Because as you can see, this is going to be probably the only gummy mission that we don't just like skip over in the vodkas. Bam, we're already at Halloween Town. The nice part about getting to warp back to Monstro is that it skips the first like 75% of that gummy mission. So.
And I also equipped the Ray of Light accessory over Brave Warrior. That decreases my strength by 1, but also increases my MP by 1. We're going to put on Brave Warrior later, though, for the Lock, Shock, and Barrel fight in Ogi. But we want extra MP right now to deal with the Heartless Wave.
The best way to grow is
and then up here, we're going to collect the Power Up, which we're going to use in this menu coming up to increase our strength by 1.
Kind of the lone power-up that they left in this game.
Yeah, power-ups are not common at all in Final Mix.
In the original, there were still like 4 or 5 all over the place that we could get to, but... yeah, Final Mix, they were like, yeah, we gotta take those away. They were like the ethers of Cage 2. They said, nope, gotta take all those out. Replace them with mithrils.
Speaking of ethers, speaking of ethers, we're gonna steal Jack's ethers right here, and then put them all on Sora, and you use that power up on Sora as well.
I also want to take a second to appreciate Violin's menuing right there. Violin, you were making fun of yourself earlier, like, oh, I just memorized positioning. And that's kind of how you get good at a lot of menuing and just speedruns in general, but a lot of RPGs. When there's a lot of it, you're not really remembering, okay, I'm doing ethers, I'm doing this. It's all muscle memory. These are the inputs. You almost have to be a little robotic about it.
Yeah. So they're doing 3 blizzards on the shadows, 2 blizzards here, and then let me back up a little bit.
I love this fight actually.
2 blizzards here, and then I back up immediately after killing the search ghost. I back up and then turn back around to spawn the last wave faster. It spawns them as soon as Sora lands. Why this happens, I have no idea. It just does. And then I'm collecting at least 2 MP bubbles right here to bring my MP over here to 1 bar. So right there, it turned blue.
Perfect.
And then when we use an ether right here, our MP will be max again, because ethers refill 3 magic.
And one thing I don't think we've covered yet is how the yellow bar kind of plays into things.
It's very cool.
And you'll notice that he made a big deal about getting that one blue bar of MP. And you might be thinking, 1 cast, who cares? You know, it's fine.
Yeah, Jeff,
but if you use an ether at 0 MP, you're scamming yourself out of like, what is it, 4 casts of fire or blizzard? It adds up. It's a lot.
Yeah, you'll kind of notice it in this next fight in the graveyard that Violin's going to come up on. He's going to go for a skip, and he'll explain that as he goes through. But also look at that right MP bar down there in the bottom corner, how it's sort of, it isn't just 4 usages of Blizzard. It actually starts going down a yellow bar on the side that kind of works its way down. So it's almost multiplying how many you get to use. I say, but here we are. We got mushrooms
I got mushrooms.
in world record, okay? Which I think is technically slower.
I think it's the same speed.
Okay.
I don't think it really matters. Yeah, you can get White Knights there,
I mean, if you
which you just
enjoy making shorts,
you just use a physical combo on the first one and then Blizzard
getting
the
views
other
for
2.
the shorts.
If you get mushrooms, you can just hit them and they go away.
Oh, is this godly? Oh, that was almost
Wow.
very good RNG. And then Goofy was like, I'm not
7-7-1.
moving.
Yeah, so you want the numbers to be as close to this chest as possible. 777 is the best RNG, and then 171 is the worst RNG.
Yeah.
Then you have to go all the way from the left side to the right side, back to the left side, and then all the way to the chest. I've gotten that RNG before. And then making our way back over to the lab. There's a lot of backtracking in this world.
Yeah.
But after this, we get to go do some fun fights.
Yeah, coming up on the 3 boss fights at the end of the world. There's a lot of worlds in this game where it feels like there's a lot of moving around the world, kind of going back and forth between 2 points, and then a boss rush of sorts at the end. This one being Lock, Shock, and Barrel into Oogie Boogie, into Oogie Manor, which all have their own annoying complications with them. The Violin is going to have to work through.
Yeah.
God, Kingdom Hearts 1 is such a fast speed run. We're already like halfway through this sucker. That's crazy. Anyways.
I know. So here I'm going to use an aerial fire. I did this in the previous room. I use a fire in the air, and that cuts down landing lag, and that'll give me just enough time to land back on the moving platform before it moves up too high. So right there.
Let's see if you got good RNG here. Okay, 1 for 2.
We got the normal enemy spawn there. You can get black fungus there, and it loses about 10 seconds if you get it there. But we're good.
Yeah, in addition to losing MP, because you knowingly have to cast fire 2 extra times to go back and then come back again.
Right.
short channel.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
thankfully didn't see it.
MP doesn't really matter for lock, shock, and barrel though.
Right.
We
I don't know if
use a lot of
Hence why he was able to
we use a lot of
get
ground
success on
combos.
YouTube
Magic is only important
faster.
to cure. And then right there, I put on Brave Warrior real quick, and that'll let me do more damage on LSB.
at the cost of that 1 MP that you had there from Ray of Light. There's always some fun platforming right here, the community jumps.
Yeah, we don't have to open up any doors. We can just go completely around by doing these cool skips.
I've been on the platform for...
All right, at the start of the fight here, I'm going to focus on Shock because she does the most. She's just the most annoying to deal with, so I like to knock her out right away. She can do this annoying spin attack. By the way, if you get hit at all here in Proud, make sure you jump in the air and heal. Yeah, so right there, she hit me like what, 3 times?
Yeah.
Oh, let me count it.
on my gaming channel. So what
Okay,
do I know nothing.
Got hit by Barrel right there. Got hit again by Barrel right there. Got hit by Shock right there. Got hit again by
Oh
Shock
my
right
gosh.
there. Just
Yeah.
The kids.
horrible RNG. Got hit by Barrel again. This is the worst RNG. You never want to see this happen, ever.
See Violin really trying to stay up on top of them because if you look at the HP bar, it really chunks every time he does either a slap shot or a finisher. And again, with the Wishing Star, those are guaranteed crits every time.
Yeah.
Shock is also a good one to go for first because she does have the smallest health pool. So knocking,
Yeah.
you really want to knock out her and Barrel. They're the two scariest ones. And then
Yeah.
Hey, Rat Guy, thank you.
Lock can come in later on.
Yeah, and actually, Lock's projectile does less damage to you compared to Barrel's roll and Shock spin.
His channel's a content farm.
Lock's projectile is a 3 shot when the other 2 are 2 shots.
As Infinite Gold doesn't make the videos.
Is
It's
that-
a full team that
Is that what Barrel's doing? He's
random
rolling?
part of his stream into
Yeah,
videos.
I
it's a
think
little
so.
rolling.
That's what I think
Why
he's.
they're able to
Wow.
I don't know.
Or he's I thought he was a little Sonic the Hedgehog running around. It looks like a roll to me, but
Yeah. At the start of the fight here, I am jumping and then using a blizzard on these two gargoyles, and that will make them both rush me, and then I will use blizzards to kill both of them while they're grouped up.
nice, beautiful.
And here I want to catch Oogie on a platform, but not have Donald and Goofy join me on the same platform, because the way Oogie works is he has a hit counter, and if you hit him 10 times, he will push you away and you'll go into the next phase. And Donald and Goofy can actually steal hits from you, and they do way less damage, so you want them to not be on the same platform as you.
Yes, you see him
So-
doing very.
Oh.
Oh,
Missed that switch right there, just went for the next one. It's fine.
yeah. At least Donald and Goofy are not with you.
Yes, dude, he's not doing anything.
And here I'm going for 2 full combos and then 2 individual slap shots.
Yep.
I did a little bonus underhand swing right there as he was pushing me away right there. And then 1 fire that'll put him at just enough HP. And then I'm waiting for him to throw down these dice. My goal here is to swing at the perfect time and reflect all 3 dice at the same time, which will make the platforms light up again, and I can hit another switch. Nah.
Oh,
It's also
beautiful.
way
The triple
harder
reflect.
than it
Too much
looks.
credit.
And then for the second phase, I'm doing 2 more full combos. And then I did 2 air hits right there because regular hits deal less damage. I actually want Oogie to be at... you don't want to push Oogie under half a bar of HP for this last phase. Otherwise, there's a chance he can do a very long, drawn-out attack using the pinwheel, or he can use the healing machine,
That's
which
the
you
worst.
want to avoid both of those.
You see his combo? Don't get me wrong, but I think
So keeping him at above half a bar of HP right there. Hopefully getting this triple dice reflect. And I got it again.
The
There you
triple
go.
double. Let's
Ooh.
go.
Ooh,
But
Donald has
Donald is
joined
on the
us.
platform now. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm trying to do individual slap shots now because normally you want to do 10 slap shots here and it'll do just enough damage to kill him. But Donald is stealing hits right now. I wonder how this is going to play out.
Try to get those bonus hits. We'll try to spam some fires. Might be able to barely get rid of them. Looks like 3 more. 4 more.
Nope. I actually kill him with the dice that I reflect back at him. So right there.
Wow.
Oh my god.
If that was any later, he would have. He rigs the dice so that they go to 6s, and he heals them. He
Yeah.
heals himself. Any
That would have
any
been a
later,
reset right there.
Any later would have been a reset.
Yeah.
No. And I still lost 20 seconds to that. And that's a big time loss.
That's how important it is. Again, like there's so many moving parts in a lot of these fights, and just a little slip up right there and letting Donald get into the same cage as you, costing so much time.
Yeah.
To be successful.
So this is Oogie Manor. I soft shortcut to stop in my menu right there. Next time I go to the magic menu, it'll be on stop. I'm doing 2 ground combos here with slap shots, which gets rid of the orb relatively quickly. 3 air combos here, parrying that fireball.
That was hot.
And then you want to do air combos here because it's slightly faster to do air combos there than ground combos.
That's interesting.
Oh,
Nice.
That's unlucky. Yeah.
that was really funny.
Wow.
That fireball passed me and then came back around it. Man.
What
Please
a
help me out,
curved
man.
bullet. Oh my god.
Yeah, so healing right there. You want to stop these gargoyles to prevent them from moving and attacking you. Drop the input right there. That's fine. Stopping them again after killing the orb, just to make sure they don't follow me. And then doing ground combos in this corner, just for safety, and it'll also allow me to parry some fireballs back at the orb. And when you parry a fireball back at the orb, it deals extra damage as well, which is very nice.
Go for the jump. Nice ledge grab.
Yeah, that ledge grab was found by Missmaster1. We called the Miss Jump. Pretty cool. Saves you having to go around.
Wow, it's like I bet he's gonna
Almost
get. I bet he's gonna get a little greedy right there. Yep. I think
Yeah.
at that HP range, I think that would have been pretty unlucky to see another attack
yes,
come in at that
and-
range. I think that's smart.
You're good to go.
You kind of have to have a
And-
little bit of a knack for that killing blow, knowing when you're safe to go for the win, and when it's like
Yeah.
I need to heal. I'm risking the whole run at that point.
And I've had a lot of runs die to just judgment errors having to do with healing or not healing. But over time, you do more runs and you start to figure it out. You just know.
Yeah, hit.
Then we have a gummy mission coming up. A weird thing about this gummy mission. Also, I'm going to pause because I play a copyrighted song here. But a weird thing about this next gummy mission is on console. There's a chance for Neverland for Captain Hook's pirate ship to not show up. There's a 30% chance you'll just skip over it and you'll be forced to go to Atlantica, which you can quit out and then try to go back to Neverland. But basically, you lose 46 seconds the first time you miss it and 26 seconds every time after. But on PC, we allowed a cool hook ship mod to make it consistent. So you'll see text at the top of the screen that says hook ship 100%. But yeah, I'm going to play Brain Power here. I'm going to actually pause, or not pause. I'm going to mute the PB on OBS real quick.
There you go.
Yeah, so right there, it says hook ship 100%. That's how you know the mod is working.
And this is allowed in the speedrunning community utilizing this version.
Yeah.
It's no fun to get a run this deep, and then there just is a 30% chance your run just hard dies.
Also, nice shades right
Yeah,
there.
I do like the swag. It is good. It's even better
also-
with it being muted. It's so much funnier, actually. Go ahead.
Also, the mod is created by Detonator. Very amazing KH1 modder. Also made KH1 Rando. So I'm just going to skip through this, and yeah, there we go.
And it's worth pointing out the context that basically the game is checking for, oh, you've done all the worlds over here, right? Because the other Disney World we're skipping is Atlantica. We're never going to go there. It's a little too slow, not enough benefits. If we had done Atlantica as well, 100% chance you see Hook Ship, but we're not doing it, so random chance we're not seeing it. But now we're in Neverland, the final
Yeah.
Disney World.
And Neverland's also a very short world, but it's also probably the scariest world for me, specifically because of the hook fight. Just like before, everything is a two-shot, and there's just a higher chance of you getting hit in these fights. But Anti-Sora is pretty cool because we do a cool little ground combo loop to keep Anti-Sora from moving around too much and spawning clones. We'll see how well I maintain the loop. It's pretty precise timing. You want to catch him at the end of his swing, but before he disappears again.
Good luck. I will need it.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, beginning here,
But,
he's not going to blow up at first. So you kind of try to maximize the damage before the first clearing of him.
Yeah. So right there, I got the best RNG. I had Anti-Sora do a swing. That's exactly what you want. And then I'm doing 4 slap shots here to push Anti-Sora in the corner. And I'll do a full combo after and make sure my last hit of the combo is delayed to parry the attack that Anti-Sora does. Right there.
That's such
so
cool
I parry
move
that.
routing. That's so cool.
Yeah, I parried that on purpose, and then Anti-Sora will do another swing, and I'll have to go behind Anti-Sora to keep staggering, and I'll do 3 more hits into a full combo. 3 more slap shots. And now he went poof. I caught him right before he went underground. And then here I know that Anti-Sora will swing again. So I make sure to have Cure prepared already. So I just heal myself. And now, if we deal enough damage, we can get Anti-Sora back into the loop. And he'll stay in the loop this time for the rest of the fight. Unfortunately, he summoned clones right there. We can just deal with them quickly by using blizzards. And let's see how well this loop goes.
Yeah, that aerial
And I
hit
wanna
to try
keep
to
him-
catch it. Yep.
Yeah, the aerial hit is a lot easier to time. You can do it on the ground, but Slapshot's animation is just so much shorter, so it's harder to like the attack of Slapshot is out for less amount of time, so it's more forgiving to use an air hit right there. But yeah, you want to keep Anti-Sora as close to the door as possible so that you can try to get this fast fade out, which I got during PB.
And it's like
Nice.
5 seconds or something, isn't it? It's a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
I think it's 6 seconds. Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, if you dodge roll towards the door while it's fading out, there's a chance that it'll just fade out immediately. However, sometimes it just doesn't work, and
Yeah.
just happens. Right here, we're equipping, I believe it's Cheer and Tornado on Goofy, and then we're putting on Hurricane Blast on Sora, and then putting Stop on Triangle, and also setting Goofy's, what is that, support actions?
Yeah, to
I think so, yeah.
constantly or whatever it is.
Yeah, his support actions to constantly.
And that's
And that'll allow him to use MP Gift, which he'll get later. That'll allow him to give us a lot of MP as soon as we are low.
And in case you noticed,
really
Violin
need this
casted
next
a Blizzard
fighting
before he doing that menu and falling down that trapdoor. And what the Blizzard allows him to do right here is that you cannot grab a ledge while you're casting magic. So that prevents him from grabbing the ledge entirely. So that's something
Yeah.
you'll commonly see when you're falling through that trapdoor specifically, and I think a couple other spots maybe, where you'll cast a magic to prevent the ledge grab.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
saw
I
it
really need this
earlier in
next
this
fighting
world, in
wall.
fact. Just in order to
Yep.
fall into one of the holes. So yeah, nice
Yep.
little tech right there to
should
avoid
not
those ledge
die.
grabs.
Yeah.
Now the
And then
pre-hook.
at the start of this fight here, and this fight is interesting. At the start of the fight here, we're actually gonna menu Peter Pan into our party. Then at the start, we're going to cast Stop on these two pirates. Do a grand combo on this one. Lock on to that bandit, and I got hit. That's bad. But I'm doing 4 empty hits and then a full combo that'll guarantee that the enemy dies, which he does. Then Peter Pan's just going ham on the last one. Nice. And then we just want to do combos on these. Sometimes you'll see me do hits without a finisher before my last combo, just to prevent the enemy from getting too far away before I kill him.
Yeah, you basically like keep them very close, a little bit easier crowd control. So the finishers do more damage, but it also knocks them away. So you kind of get a feel for at what HP ranges you actually want to go for the finishers.
Yeah, so after those 4 air pirates, this last wave is going to spawn. I'm going to try to stop the battleship Heartless and the air pirates as close together as possible so I can use gravity on them together. We'll see how well this goes. Oh, I got really unlucky there, and both of them decided to fly away from the ship.
Yeah, they have a mind of their own. They can go do whatever they want. Sometimes they'll sit right on top of the ship and you're rubbing your hands
Yeah.
together. Other
So
times,
because
not so much.
Goofy and Pan are going ham on the ship, I've decided to just do one combo after my 2 gravities, and then I lock on switch to the other enemies and focus on them. And the ship should die from all that damage. Goofy took care of that one air pirate, and then I took care of the other
At
one.
least it was nice that both of them kind of came together. So your finishers actually hit both of them in a couple spots. And now we've got one of the scariest fights in the entire run.
Yeah, this is one of the scariest fights, and what I'm trying to do here is keep Hook on this upper level so I can hit him next to this wall to keep him trapped between me and the wall, so that I can use blizzards to kind of loop him, but also use stops in between my combos to prevent him from moving as well. This is just a lot of adaptation, and then during this fight, there's also a battleship Heartless that can randomly hit you out of stuff, and it's very random. You just have to adapt. It's basically just trying to survive and deal as much damage as you can while surviving.
Yeah, another thing to note about the party members in this fight is that they're pretty much actively griefing you, in that they are limiting your ability to loop hook with those blizzards. because the Blizzard Loop works by taking him out of his little parry animation, which you'll see here. But Goofy hit him, so he activated the
Yeah.
parry. So ideally, you want your party members to sit out the whole time, but sometimes they're a little too focused on life. There was a healing bullet from the battleship there.
But it looks like I teched it, so that's good. Oh,
Ooh, that shockwave is so intense. And you might
Yeah.
wonder, like, why don't you just take out the pirate ship, right? He'll always respawn another one. So you just have to deal with that ad the entire fight.
yeah. So you just saw that utilization of Blizzard. If he does this like taunting move, you can use Blizzard on Hook and he'll back away, which will leave him open to do another combo. But what's funny right here is after I use the Blizzard, he takes a healing orb, so he heals. So he gets some HP back right
Oh.
there.
And that's not a small amount of HP. That's probably 3 combos worth of damage that he got back.
It's a big time loss.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, Game Man of Color, we actually were looking at that healing bullet in Cheat Engine and found out the exact amount that it does heal, and it's close to a third of a bar, if I remember correctly. It's a lot of HP.
That's so gross.
Okay, I'll take it.
Solid though, honestly. Like I've seen Captain Hook fights go much slower than that. The Blizzard tech's
Yeah.
super cool.
Shout outs to Majoris for figuring that out, by the way.
This fight's my baby.
Could have been worse. Exactly.
But yeah, I lost a small amount of time there, 27 seconds, just a small amount.
Right, just half of your lead built up right there, gone to it.
Yeah.
That's Hook.
Still on world record pace
Yep.
out of Neverland.
It's like Kingdom Hearts 1 Proud Mode, I always think is like one of those speed runs that you play through where you gotta roll with the punches, literally, because
Yeah.
you're going to lose time. There's gonna be stuff that's gonna happen that is just not in your control, and you're trying to just minimize the time loss and at the very least not die in any of these fights and keep going. That's always gonna be the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then here we're picking up the Flare G. It is an upgraded gummy engine, which will let us go a little bit faster. And then here we're also putting on
Fairy Harp.
Fairy Harp, Arsark
Fairy
Glide.
Harp, thank you. Ars Arcanum and
Guard.
Guard.
Fairy Harp, Arsgard Glide. It's the classic
And then
menu.
Glide.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is a classic menu. Yeah.
Arsgard Glide. So we talked about forever ago, Traverse Town taking out the boss there. Now we're finally gonna do it. We're like 20 levels higher. It's great. You can see
Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
swapping on that Flare G, overriding the Fire G. Now our ship is even faster. And this is not its final form.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game looks
Spoilers. I'm just kidding.
What?
So before I go fight Opposite Armor, I'm actually going to go talk to the Fairy Godmother here and collect Dumbo, which we'll use in the next world coming up. Oops.
Yeah, Dumbo does have some. It's similar to the other summons. Like there is like obviously combat application for it, but we're gonna be using it for very interesting reasons instead. So,
Yeah. Save orbing to the accessory shop here, and then we're going to do some pretty cool movement here to despawn these enemies coming up. So we want to roll forward a bit and then go from this platform and glide all the way to that platform, to the very edge. I'm landing on the very edge of that platform, jumping forward from here as much as I can, and then ledge grabbing right here. As I'm flipping up, I'm holding back, as you can see on my controller display, I'm holding down left to land on the left half of this little ledge right here. And that prevents enemies on this roof from spawning, which is very, very useful.
Why are you following me?
Oh, but there's a yellow opera following me, which is very
Wow.
unlucky. There he is right there. Yeah, I forgot this happened.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm trying to. Wait.
How?
my gosh.
Wait, what did I land on?
The
I'm
little
trying to-
window right there, because that is a
Oh,
slippery.
oh.
You would have absolutely fallen off that. I can't believe this
I
world
didn't-
record
That's
has
insane.
that. That's bonkers.
I didn't-
How?
I didn't even realize that in the moment.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
That
No,
is
that's
an
the strat. What do you mean?
absolute slip and slide that you should have gone down, but you happen to go down right on the window
That
there.
that is the luckiest play ever,
Wow.
probably.
We were that close
yeah.
to this not being on this show today. That's bonkers.
Yeah. Okay, but now I'm going between these two pillars, and this will spawn Flying Heartless over here. We're gonna lock onto this specific green Requiem, and then cast Ars Arcanum, and this will hopefully allow us to clear all of the Heartless in one Ars.
Beautifully done.
And
close.
oh,
Wait, what? There's more?
Ah.
Okay.
Oh.
What's happening right now?
but wait, there's more. Okay.
Goofy clear.
Yeah, there were two. Goofy did a good job with Tornado there, but if you do clear all the enemies there with one Rs, the command menu actually turns blue way earlier, which is super nice. But we got a little unlucky
I
there.
just lost like 10 or 20 seconds.
And it's only on specific hits that the fast blue menu happens too, right?
Maybe.
I think I've heard Miss talk about that.
I could imagine there's a lot of
It's-
like super micro optimization there to get that blue menu sooner, depending on ours hits. But yeah.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm already losing time on this flip
Kept going.
because the yellow opera following me. But it's fine. It's
I'd
fine.
have to wait a little bit on spawns, but
Oh, is that an
lost so
auto
much
split?
time.
Because I was like, oh, you have specifically a guard
Yeah.
armor to split. That's funny.
Yeah, so I'm using an auto splitter here. This fight, this pre opposite armor fight triggers the auto splitter as well. You can disable it, but I like to keep it on.
Sure.
So I like to time my movement.
Yeah,
in the
that makes
Heartless
sense.
fight. But here you actually want to attack this hand that I'm locked onto without pressing the jump button. You just want to do an air combo from the ground while just pressing circle. And that hopefully, yeah, I was a bit too slow there, I think, and I couldn't get the finisher off in time. But you should, if you're fast enough, you should be able to knock him down in 3 hits.
Are you kidding me? This is silly.
And then I am tossing an ether right here to be a full NP. And then at the start of the fight here, you want to guard this attack and then lock on to this hand and do an Rs. That'll get rid of it right away. And then I want to do a full combo and 2 hits on this one. And this is a bit unlucky. You don't really want to see that RNG where he just flies around. You want to see another attack. But now he's doing that lunge attack, and then you want to focus on the other hand and kill it with Rs. And then I'm going to focus on this part, which still has full HP. We want to focus on this one. And then we'll finish off the other one, which we hit 4 times before. Getting that parry right there.
Nice. Yeah.
And we have to wait a little bit here for it to do the animation, because he's invincible during that. And then there we go.
Nicely done. That's another fight that can go haywire very quickly.
Yeah, and right there, you can actually skip the cutscene while the HUD is still up during the little transition. It's weird.
Yeah, it does this weird thing where it like translates your screen up and to the right a little bit, and you can skip it during that.
2 months away from your black shade.
So now that we have both completed Neverland and taken out opposite armor, that's the stuff that Sid checks for to where he'll actually upgrade your gummy ship, and we can go to the end game portion of the run, Hollow Bastion, and later the end of the world.
So we have a bunch of cutscenes here. Just gonna skip through them. We're gonna go back to the accessory shop and warp out. And then we have to warp to Neverland. I'm just warping to Neverland, and that lets us fly to Hollow Bastion. And honestly, there's not really much going on in the next gummy mission, besides just dodging stuff. There is a point in this gummy mission, though, where you want to stop boosting during the load transition. I'm going to skip to that.
You can also see
here.
you can also see how fast our flare G is making us.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
flying across this screen. It's great.
So right there during that transition, I'm actually not holding square because you're actually not moving during that transition. So you want
That's
to
funny.
boost after you see the level load in. And then here's a lazy strat I came up with. You can just sit on the top right, hold square and circle until a certain point, and then you have to move again.
I'm going to steal that because, yeah, this is another set of enemies that fly behind you. If they fly into your backside, you die. One shot. It's great.
Yeah, so right there, you want to position yourself downwards, and then those enemies will not hit you.
Best world. Let's go. Hollow Bastion.
Best world. Yeah, Hollow Bastion is pretty cool. Also, did you know that you can freeze the bubbles?
Holy, what?
Oh my, what?
That's crazy.
Huh?
You're clearly lying.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone do it.
If you guys didn't know, you can cast Blizzard on the bubbles to turn them into platforms.
Do it right
But
now.
Yeah.
Or this is
We don't do it
pre-recorded.
in the run.
Yeah, tell the second violin on screen to go do it right now.
Oh man, it looks like he's not listening. Oh well.
Dang it. Send him a DM. Yo, good movement there, actually catching that cycle. Like, through all that, like, goofing
Yeah.
around we did right there. Actually, good movement in these little waterfall sections is actually pretty hard to get, all these different cycles.
Yeah, they're I think two or three moving platforms that you want to catch before they move up too high, which you'll see more of that in the second visit. It'll be a lot tighter of a cycle. And now we have Beast in our party. We have a wooden sword, which we can't deal any physical damage, but we can still deal a lot of damage with magic. And then I soft shortcutted gravity in my magic menu, because we'll be using that on an enemy coming up. Commanding Beast to attack that thing.
My man just punched a wall. That's sick. I always kind of viewed this sewer section as like the calm before the storm, where like Hollow Bastion is
Yeah.
definitely, I think for a lot of people, like the highlight of Kingdom Hearts 1 is where a lot of people fell in love with the series, was kind of right here. But after this, we're going to be having not one, not two, not three, but 4 big time boss fights that come up in this world, in addition to just some other mob fight sections and just kind of difficult platforming and despawn strats.
Yeah. And this puzzle looks complicated, but it's pretty linear. You just go to the next switch closest to you, and everything opens up.
You have one enemy you got to defeat out here. Your first instance of a defender. Big beefy boys.
Yeah. Oh, and actually here, there's a cool little detail. So I know which direction to hold after I go into these bubbles, because I did a bit of camera manipulation earlier. Let me go back to it. Right here, when I was dropping down, I actually flipped the camera around, and that determines all the camera angles in the next 2 rooms.
Wow.
Oh,
And I don't know why. It's just a KH1 thing.
Yeah, a lot of people will probably wonder, like, maybe you've entered a load zone in Kingdom Hearts 1 and been like, why is my camera like this? It actually adheres to consistency based on whatever the angle of your camera was going into the load zone. That's when you pop out. That's what you get. But I did not know that adheres from 5 screens ago, how this one's up. That's cool.
Yeah. So right here, I know to hold right on my left analog stick and mash out triangle.
makes a lot of sense. When I was first learning, I had to hold left, and now I hold right, which makes sense because I changed how I drop down.
And then right here, I am casting 2 gravities, and then when the second gravity does damage, I command Beast to do a special attack. However, let's go back to that. He just
My man!
he does a little bomb.
My man clanked on him. Holy buckets!
Beast.
Yeah, losing me like 3 seconds right now. Oh well.
Not a small
I didn't
amount
need
of
those
time.
anyway.
That's funny.
And then we just go back through the puzzle the backwards way.
we got coming up. You're immediately going to be flung into. I said there's always kind of like a boss rush thing at the end of these worlds. Bosses 2, 3, and 4, Maleficent, Dragon Maleficent, and Riku Ansem, they're all back to back to back. But here, kind of at the start now, you got Riku 1 coming up, which I've always said is one of the most awkward boss fights in the game because of an auto counter it's got.
Yeah.
I'm planning to go to AGDQ.
Yeah, it's a very random fight. Basically, how Riku works is when you do 3 stackers on him, when you stagger him 3 times, he can do 1 of 2 attacks. And you kind of just have to play it by ear, just react to what you see. But our goal here is to trap Riku into a corner and have Goofy use Tornado while we do air combos and also Ars Arcanum when we have enough MP. But this fight is very random. I'm not sure how this fight went in PB, so we'll see. And then sometimes Riku can just not stagger whenever he wants. Well, that doesn't help. So I did 2 hits there into an Ars. Trying to push him to this wall into a corner. Goofy's doing a great job with Tornado right there.
Goofy, my God. Look at that tornado damage. Holy buckets.
And that was the best segment.
That was very good.
Filthy. My man
That was
melted.
very good.
Oh my gosh, that was disgusting. That was so good.
Nice best segment right there. Very rare to get a fight that good.
That's crazy.
That was crazy indeed. But yeah, now we're gonna go through this library. You only have to collect a couple books here to progress a story. And before we actually complete, go completely through this library, we're gonna leave to Agrabah. And that's because we just got White Trinity from Riku. And that gives us access to an accessory in Agrabah called Ifrit's Belt, which increases our strength by how much, Majoris?
3.
2? Oh, it's a 3.
By
Okay.
3.
It's 3.
Yeah, it's a massive strength buff. It's crazy. You'll see the difference.
And again, it might sound like, oh, it's just a number going up by 3. Imagine it in multiplication. Like every extra point of strength really makes a big chunky difference in your strength combos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's the White Trinity right here.
This revisit, absolutely worth it.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna drop down and hold left, and then swim up this waterfall to get back to the save point quickly. And little movement optimization there, doing a big jump between those 2 platforms to have to skip over having to swim at all.
Another nice thing about Ifrit's Belt is that it also has very high fire resistance on it, which will help us a lot later on.
Yeah, hopefully turn some attacks that would be 2 shots into 3 shots, which obviously can buy you a lot more time to be more aggressive in fights.
For sure. Yeah, so here we're gonna be doing a puzzle to collect some emblem pieces, and during these puzzles we're gonna try to keep moving as much as we can. So right there I'm casting fire while moving to the the pots. We just always want to keep moving to the next thing while casting the magic, which is why I'm casting it in the air rather than on the ground. Red Trinity right here. And some more candles. And then this statue right here is a little weird. You actually cannot push this in one push. Which is weird. You have to do it in 2 or 3.
You'll randomly like fall off, I think 1, 2, or 3 times. 3 probably means just your positioning was bad. But like, you'll always stagger at least 1 time there.
Yeah, there's a little bump on the floor, and Sora doesn't know how to deal with a 1-inch difference like that.
Can we go back to that real quick? Look at Donald right here. Look at Donald.
Oh my God.
My man down the slip and slide. Yeah, you wanted to do it yourself. Got jealous of the man.
Yeah, that's a little movement optimization. Also, fast menu right here. We're taking Beast Ethers. We're putting on a lot of items, but it has to be in a very specific order. It's ether, elixir, elixir, ether, elixir. Or sorry, ether, ether.
Oh, okay, I was like, yeah, I couldn't remember if it was. Yeah.
So ether, elixir, elixir, ether, ether. You want it to be in that order because that sets up the Maleficent fight. And then right here, I am unequipping guard to free up some AP because I'm going to unequip White Fang, which will lower our AP, and we're going to put on Ifrit's belt. And then we also gave Beast White Fang, which will allow him to do more damage in the second visit, which will allow him to essentially one-shot enemies with his roar, which you will see later.
Fun fact, if you play Kingdom Hearts 1 Randomizer, which I've been told is very fun, I haven't played it myself, the MacGuffins you're trying to find are those 4 emblem pieces to get past that door. It's one of the 2 win conditions, technically, but we'll throw it out there.
Yeah. And then here we're going to do some enemy manipulation. We'll see if it works. You just want to start moving here when you see the wyvern's wings like start to go up. That's when you want to start moving. And then we're going to fly over to this chest right here to despawn the wyverns, but also we want that chest because it has haste 2G, which will allow us to boost even faster in our gummy missions.
Yeah, the final gummy piece we pick up for the run.
Yeah.
And now with all those enemies despawn can float all the way over here.
Yeah. And then this elevator fight, in the first visit, it just has 3 wizards. In the second visit, it'll have a whole variety of enemies. Fun stuff. Also, Goofy.
Gorge.
Goofy W.
Goofy W. So eventually, I'm positioning Goofy in a very specific way here. Because that wizard spawns right there. And then just doing... What is it? 3 empty hits there without a finisher, and then a full combo should kill. Utilizing Hurricane Blast right there.
Yeah, you really don't want to do finishers early on them. Usually that's going to trigger their little attack where they're bringing thunder down from the heavens for like 10 seconds, and they are practically invincible during that. So.
Yeah. Also, before the fight started, I forgot to mention... I actually... You see me doing something with the command menu right there. I actually soft shortcut Dumbo, soft shortcut the bottom ether, and also soft shortcut arrow. Because I need arrow for the Maleficent fight. And then I need to use the bottom ether before the Maleficent fight. And then I also need to use Dumbo. So just pre-selecting everything to make sure I can use all of those things as soon as possible.
Yeah, always some of the more fun parts of speedrunning, even in the like quote unquote downtime, always doing something to kind of prep for the next thing to be done as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, like looking at Donald.
Yep. Always prepping. Giving the man his time to shine.
And we have a blue trinity coming up here, which will give us a little more MP, but more importantly, it'll give us 2 cottages and a mega elixir.
Bonkers value, honestly. That's like the best trinity in the game.
Yeah, for sure. And we will be using those cottages later. Also, those blue textures, a lot of people ask me, why are there blue glitchy textures underneath Sora in the lift stop? That's because, for some reason, there's a texture glitch when you're using a 30 series NVIDIA graphics card.
Okay. I don't know, there's something with like Epic Game Store version or something.
Yeah.
Beast. Not until later.
And here's our first use of Dumbo here.
Because of GDQs,
Dumbo.
We like to call this,
it took me 100 hours to be
we call this Dumbo skip because we're skipping to do, we're skipping having to hit the switches to bring down a platform. Big puzzle. But yeah, if you just, let me back up a little bit.
I really appreciate it.
With Dumbo, you can go up and down by pressing either square or X. So you want to just hover all the way to the top here, and then dismiss Dumbo,
I'm glad you enjoyed
and
the
Sora will
GDQ
grab the ledge. Very nice.
Bell.
And that saves a lot of time.
And Cyan.
Yeah,
Probably like a minute.
Yeah, the game normally wants you to do like 2 different fights there to bring those platforms down. Instead, we skip all that. That's actually a pretty accessible trick if you're wanting to get into cage speedrunning. Utilize that ether you menued earlier.
Yeah, and then I pre-selected the top ether again
Also warranted.
to use the, what is it, consumables in order. So at the start of the fight here, this is a very specific strat. At the start of the fight here, I want to do 1 full air combo. Normally you don't want to do finishers on Maleficent because it staggers her, which will make her teleport away. But at the very start there, she's actually immune to stagger for a small amount of time. So we can squeeze in a little full combo there. And now I'm going to do slap shots into R's. Doing every single batch of this R's except the very last one, because the last one will put her into stagger and will make her teleport away. After that, we're doing 2 more slap shots into another R's, using an ether right after the second R's. And here, I'm just going to do regular ground hits without a finisher until I see her try to swipe attack at me. So right there, she's about to hit me with her staff, but I'm going to iframe through that by using Ars Arcanum again.
Yeah, the first like half of Ars Arcanum having iframe properties to them.
Yeah, and then she summoned 2 defenders, and she's about to do her desperation attack, which is she summons a bunch of meteors. So at this phase, I want to cast Arrow as soon as possible, and then she's going to knock me off the platform, and I'm going to use an elixir. An Arrow will prevent me from getting 2-shotted. It's about a 4-shot here now. And then I have to climb up and use 2 R's as soon as possible. I got very lucky there. I got hit by a meteor, but I was able to swing back onto the platform after getting hit. Right there.
You call it luck. That was a great reaction right there. Very nice. Beautiful
Yeah,
Maleficent fight. That can... I said Riku 1 was awkward. That might be the worst fight in the game. That one's rough on
Yeah,
Proud.
that was pretty
Yeah.
good.
And another best segment. Nice.
The back-to-back.
Yeah, so right here, we're going to put on an elixir and a mega elixir in that order. It has to be in that order for the Dragon Malphite to work properly. And then we're equipping the bottom 3 abilities on Donald, which one of them is important. It's well, all 3 of them are important, but the most important one is Cheer, which will boost summon duration and will also increase the charge meter as well, I believe.
Yeah.
It basically acts as an extra MP, but only for summons. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is one of the hardest fights in this run. You have to be so fast. We're doing a small hit at the start here, and then stopping Dragon Mal as soon as her head comes down. And I'm doing a full combo, 1 hit, and then stop. Doing that over and over again until my MP is low, and then I am going to use an item to refill my MP. The timing for these are very tight, by the way. So right there, menuing that item as soon as I can, and then doing 1 swing into a stop again to make sure she doesn't move. And just repeating that over and over.
Yeah, again, has to be very fast with all of these. Otherwise, she's going to get further and further away from you. She's trying to lift her head up during all of this. So all these combos into stops, into also popping these elixirs and ethers so you can get your MP back. All of it has to be incredibly quick.
Yeah, and she actually broke out early there because I over-damaged her. I was actually attacking her too quickly. Yeah, I was going too fast, so she got a little bit... when you over-damage Maleficent, she tends to break out of stop early. But I ended up catching her with the next stop at just the right time, so it didn't really affect the fight too much.
This fight is definitely a fine balance of getting your stops out in time, but also staggering them enough so that she has those little moments to nudge, because that tends to reset her internal timer almost, so that she doesn't break out as frequently. So it's really difficult to balance those things nicely.
Yeah, the standard and proud version of Dragon Maleficent is it's definitely the hardest version. Beginner and level 1 have it easy.
Yeah, and a lot of that is tied to, once again, your max MP is what determines how effective your magic is, not just how strong the magic is, but for stuff like stop, it stops your enemies for longer periods of time, having more MP. So we have a little bit less MP here being on the higher difficulties compared to beginner. So yeah, that's what your combos have to be even tighter to actually do it. I think most people could do the beginner variant on it. This one's tough. And now we got Riku Ansem.
Yeah, so at the start of Riku Ansem, I'm going to do a very specific combo. It's very consistent. I always do the same thing. 2 hits at the start there. The second one will always stagger. Then I'm going to do a delayed R's right here. Start the R's right as he's spinning to retaliate. I'm going to finish R's but not do any bashes. I actually want to wait for him to spin around again. And then do 2 more hits into an R's, but I missed that hit because the Keyblade is very short, and I'm bad. So now I'm kind of just adapting.
I'm so confused.
But you'll see him try to power up right here. Yeah, this is his second phase now. And in second phase, he has a very consistent loop that you can do if you attack him quickly enough in the air. And I'm doing a very advanced version of this loop where you put in a bonus hit after he retaliates. I'm getting a very messy fight though. And this is also a 2-shot, so you gotta be careful.
And in 2-shot range, in 1-shot range at this point, Violin just saying go for it here in the record run. Oh my god.
Yeah. And that completely skips his desperation move, which
13 seconds.
the desperation move, I believe, loses like 10 to 15 seconds.
Costs you so much time.
So keeping him looped right there, very important. And we also got Ragnarok, which you'll never see. It's bad.
I'm glad a lot of these are good in Cage 2 in limit form, because we use Ars Arcanum and that's it, of the like kind of almost limit things you can do.
Yeah.
There's Albert.
And yeah, Albert. We're going a very specific path here. Yeah, he's moving.
Yeah, it's what people are bringing up in chat. Yeah, once again, that Riku Ansem fight, it's hard to really get across how difficult a lot of these strategies are, and Riku Ansem is another one. I've been playing this game for years and years. I still do a ground combo on Riku Ansem back there, because air combos, once again, if you go back and you watch that VOD, Sora's feet are like a quarter of a foot off the ground in order to actually do air combos on like shorter targets like that, and have them come out as fast as Violin did. I can never stress enough, that is the #1 thing you need to study in order to be good at this speedrun. Oh, the Bonkless, let's go.
Bonkless.
I had to shut up the commentary right there just to bring that up.
That's the cool thing about Riku Ansem, is there are like 3 or 4 different ways that you can loop him. Like there's a beginner variant, an intermediate variant, and then the advanced one that I did. And so right here, we're gonna talk to Sid. He's gonna tell us to go to the waterway and find the next Nabi Gummy. So we're gonna go through the second district, go to the alleyway, and then from there go to this area.
Yeah, the 4th and final visit here to Traverse Town. It also works out because we can get both the Oathkeeper and Mushu while we're here.
Yeah.
God, your notifications are so good, by the way. I love how clean they are.
Welcome to the Shade Brigade. I hope you enjoy your ad-free viewing and the emote.
Yeah, I guess shout outs to Sora Austin for making them.
And as a reward, they pay.
And then we go through the that little platform right there to get back to Merlin's house. And then we're gonna talk to Fairy Godmother and get Mushu. And you'll see Mushu in End of the World. He does a lot of damage, but not for the reason you would think. You'll see why. And then we're gonna warp back to the accessory shop and talk to Sid again, and he's gonna let us progress the game. We're gonna
byproduct of the whole system.
leave to the world map. We're gonna put on the Haste 2 gummy as well, and you'll see just how fast we go. It's crazy. The speed upgrade is nuts. Sorry, it's kind of hard to talk while also hearing myself. So
Right.
apologies if I
get that.
pause every now and then.
Yeah, for the ads incentive program,
Yeah. So look how fast.
it's automatically.
Also, this is the most dangerous gummy mission
It
in the
is.
entire run.
Which explains why I died here 10 years ago and found this track.
And I'd run the
Yeah.
same amount of ads as.
Speaking of, yeah, there's something cool coming up. You actually don't have to play the whole gummy mission. You only have to play through like half of it.
Program, if you run
Yeah, it's like slightly less than half. Have you ever actually done this full gummy mission?
Yeah, it's very long if you do the full thing.
I don't make a lot of money to begin
Yeah,
with.
so
I forgot to do it one time and lost 50 seconds.
Is already
yeah, it's so long. Yeah, the story is about 10 years ago I was running Kingdom Hearts 1. It's nice in the final mix version because you can just right here, you'll see, you can just quit out of the world. In original back
Yeah.
then, you couldn't just quit out of the world. You had to either finish it or die. So I died later in this gummy mission, and then you'll see what happens.
Yeah, but first we have this low transition again, and I'm purposefully not holding square until I see that
Yep.
boulder right here
Okay.
spawn in, and then I press square again.
Same sort of thing. You're not moving to in those little transitional points.
Yeah,
It's at least a couple $100.
and then in the next transition you'll see me quit out of the gummy mission. Also, there's so many enemies here, and
It's bonkers.
yeah.
Even hitting the walls right here, if you're a little off, can deal quite a bit of damage.
Time to time.
Yeah. And right here, you can quit out. And just warp to Hollow Bastion. Just like that.
The game's like, you got close enough. Sure, we'll let you go the
Yeah.
rest of the way. But yeah, that's what I discovered by being really, really bad at the video game 10 years
For
ago.
the next year, we
Yep.
actually have a command on that. It's a exclamation.
And now we're going to menu Beast into our party because he's going to deal a lot of damage. You'll see. You'll see. And then Donald. Oh, wait, we're also trying to catch a very fast cycle here. But first, we have to do a menu. I'm putting gravity on triangle because we're going to be using that a lot. Taking off Ferocious Lunge and equipping Critical Plus on Beast. And also putting Guard back on. And also putting on Oathkeeper. And I'm also trying to catch this fast cycle right here. Let's see if I can get it. I also have to get this Mega Elixir and then try to hop back onto that moving platform in time.
Oh my god, you actually make this?
I got it. There we go.
That is so,
Nice.
you made that look so much easier than it actually is.
It's-
Oh my gosh.
It's an incredibly tight cycle. So glad I got that. Now I'm going to roll forward twice and nudge myself forward a little bit and then go back to only spawn that Wizard Heartless. Then I'm going to summon Dumbo, and eventually when I get far away from the Wizard will despawn and I can just hit the switch right away.
I'm making more.
It skips a lot of movement. Normally you'd have to go in the, what is it, the entrance hall,
Yeah.
and then fight a bunch of Heartless and unlock the door, and it's just a
I have
lot.
some big streamers. They're contractually.
And now we have this elevator fight. We're gonna position Beast in a very specific place on this triangle right here. Make sure you're standing right in the middle, and then we're gonna position ourselves between the middle and Beast. And what this will do is
Honestly, the ad
Beast
incentive
will
program
jump
isn't a bad thing. It's just,
from that triangle to the middle and then do a roar, and hopefully it'll catch all of the Heartless.
I wish ads weren't so.
Okay,
Oh,
so
that's
with
so
that roar, he got everything except that Wizard because Goofy is using Tornado right there.
I wish ads weren't so interruptive.
But that's fine. It was very fast anyway.
I love that both of these elevator fights actually have like manipulation of your party members where they are positioned to get the better attacks to come out. That's very cool.
The whole screen being taken up by the ad.
Also, Beast W.
Beast
And
W.
also, people have been telling me that their ads have been very.
Oh, then after this, we're gonna get Royal Crown, which is in a very hidden room that I actually didn't know about as a kid.
Yeah, this is definitely one you needed the Prima strategy guide to get a hold of this
And
one.
then I've had my own subscribers get ads on my own channel when that shouldn't
And
be
so
possible.
the reason we get Royal Crown is it gives you a lot of MP. That'll buff up Simba, which we're gonna use again later on.
Yeah, the Royal Crown's one of the few,
GP is
well, not one of the
faster
few, but it is
because
quite an interesting item because it
45.6
also has a stat
faster.
reduction tied to it, where it will reduce your strength by 3, but increase your MP by 2. So it has a drawback to balance it out. For I say how early you get it, but we're in late game, so. But it's still how early you get something this powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, the way I imagine it, you're basically, as you get to the end game, going to have two different builds, a fighter build and a mage build. And depending on what fight you're in, you want the different builds or different applications.
Which is supposed to be running.
Yeah, you'll see me swap between the magic build and strength build quite a lot in the end of the world.
However,
And so using Dumbo here to do that cool skip again.
either more or less.
Yep,
and
third
you're
and final
never supposed
Dumbo
to.
skip right there.
That's another thing that really annoys me.
Then I'm gonna touch the save point right here to refill on our HP and MP. So we'll need that for the next fight. And then we get my personal favorite Keyblade in this game, Oblivion. Very cool.
I don't know why.
And Oblivion is very nice because it deals a lot of damage. I think the, let me think. Yeah, it's the strongest Keyblade in this run. I think Divine Rose is stronger, but we don't get that anymore.
Yeah, Divine Rose is just overall a better Keyblade for, like in terms of raw stats, but it just takes way too long for us to get.
Yeah, so right here, before I grab this Oblivion chest, I'm using one fire to set up my orange MP bar so that when I equip Oblivion, my magic will be completely maxed out with the extra bonus orange magic.
Yeah, because dropping from Oathkeeper to Oblivion here, we're going to get more strength, but we're going to lose 1 MP. Yep.
Yeah,
Welcome back to the Shaver.
or 2 MP,
2
I guess.
MP. Yeah, either way, same difference. You're going to end up having maximum MP.
Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, and at the start of this fight here, I'm going to wait until a certain point, until I see Behemoth leave the ground. I'm going to command my party towards the head while rolling to the right. This will manipulate to my party members to deal some extra damage here while I do a slap shot and R's. And Beast will jump up and he'll roar as well. And Goofy should also use Tornado, yeah. Just a little bit of extra damage for my party members, but it does make quite a bit of a difference by the end. Then getting a good pattern here, doing some hits into R's, bringing down the head again. Damage looking pretty good. Then I have to dodge this laser. That timing,
Nice.
by the way, is very precise.
And sometimes you can get unlucky because there just is another lightning bolt like right beyond it that you roll into. You can't control that. but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, Violent doing all he can and 2 for 2 on dodging those. So that's really nice.
Yeah, and then I got a pretty good pattern there again. But that time I used R's without doing any bashes because after that you have to back away. And I'm standing on this leg right here to prevent taking damage from this knockback. For some reason, the damage hitbox doesn't extend past like the middle of his body. It's very weird. And then I'm also throwing an ether here to get out an extra R's. There we go. Oh, but I got like launched in the air right there. I got a bit unlucky. But finishing out the fight with some normal ground hits.
That's fine.
Yeah, you,
Only losing about 4 seconds.
You really see how strong the Oblivion is right there. Like, you have to play this game enough to kind of understand what the difference between chip damage and chunk damage is. And you can see, especially on those slap shots and those finishers, really taking off good chunks of health.
Yeah. Also, let me see if I can sync this up with the VOD. Let me see. This is going to be funny. Wait for it, wait for it.
Pausers.
What's the long?
All right.
I cannot skip this cutscene because this cutscene is an unskippable cutscene that I cannot skip because it is unskippable. And also I'm turning off alerts. Yep, there we go.
Very nice.
I like to turn off alerts during this part so I can focus on the rest of the run because it's very hard.
Yeah, for whatever reason, there are like 3 cutscenes in the game, now 4, with the Epic the Epic Games version that are just unskippable, and those are a couple of them. So, yeah.
Yep. We're also getting our final fire upgrade. We're gonna have Fire Raga, which deals a lot more damage. Right there, well, let me back up. I'm too fast.
The Omega Arts, I imagine, yeah.
Putting Oathkeeper back on, putting on Omega Arts, giving Goofy Ray of Light, taking off Tornado from Goofy and putting on the bottom 3 abilities, one of which is Cheer, and then putting on, I believe it's MP Haste on Donald, or MP Rage, one of those 2.
Yeah, one of them being Cheer for Goofy, but also, more importantly, I guess, MP Gift was in that bottom.
Oh, yeah. I forgot the most important one. Yeah, MP Gift, basically Goofy can sacrifice 2 of his MP to give us 3. So it's very, very nice.
Yeah, in original, I can't remember if it was just like all KH1 versions or maybe just Japanese version, but he only had to give up 1 MP to send you 3, and I guess they realized that's a little busted, so they made him have to give up 2.
Too broken.
Hence why Violin gave Goofy the Ray of Light, giving him that +1 MP, so it's more frequently he can do that. Because every time he throws you 3 of those, that's another Ars Arcanum directly, or, just other things you want to do with it. More gravities, more stops, all that sort of sexy stuff.
Yeah, and then the reason I put on Oathkeeper and what was it?
Omega Arts.
Omega Arts, yeah. It was to boost my MP stat, and that's gonna allow me to do more damage with these gravities coming up. Because again, the amount of damage your magic does is determined on your maximum. Like how much magic you have, how much MP you have.
Possibly the worst enemy in the game right here, the end game enemy, the Invisibles. They are tough.
So at the start here, they're very tough. At the start of the fight here, I'm putting on Arrow just for safety because they 2-shot you. And then I am casting Gravity on this middle Invisible, hoping that the other ones just come towards me. However, Goofy, as you can see, is being a jerk and is pushing one of them away.
Dang it.
That's bad. Goofy, how dare you?
Bad dog.
Anyway, yeah, that's going to be a problem, but oh, and the
Oh my god.
the other Invisible decided to lunge towards him.
Help out his friend. Oh my god.
That one right there. Oh.
You can also tell he did not want
Another-
to walk by that gravity spam.
Yeah. And we're trying to avoid a DM attack here. Basically, what these enemies can do is go completely invincible for like 10 seconds and completely disappear. And it's very annoying, loses a lot of time. But I got very lucky there that they didn't do it.
Also, I did not
learned-
know you could hit those back. That was sick.
Yeah, I learned in this run that you can hit the orbs back. These orbs, you can hit it back at the Invisible.
You can hit those back.
That's just 60 tech points. That was high. Dude, bring back tech points. That was so cool.
I know.
I loved tech points, man.
So,
I agree.
Kingdom Hearts 1, I understand, but it's clunky. It's got a lot of things. But stuff like the MP refill system, the tech points, this game did such cool stuff that then they just ignored for the rest of the series.
Yeah. So previously, you would equip Oblivion right here, but I decided recently to keep Oathkeeper on, which there's like a risk and there's a big risk to that. Sometimes you don't get enough crits to kill these Angel Stars, but sometimes it works out in your favor because your gravities do more damage here. I feel like both Keyblades are equally good, just in different ways. I just prefer Oathkeeper here, but Oblivion works fine here too. Doing 2 gravities on all 3 Angel Stars.
Always love the opening of that fight, just how it looks. The first one basically to catch each of them and stun them, and then going for a second round as they're squished into the ground. Very cool.
Yeah, that was a really good fight and a nice Gale drop right there.
I didn't know you could hit back the invisible orbs.
And then picking up an Elixir right here. And now I'm going to put on Oblivion and use a Cottage, which will refill our entire party's HP and MP.
Yeah, so basically a Mega Elixir, but you can only use it from the menu, kind of in between fights. So that's why we were talking about that Blue Trinity earlier in Hollow Bastion. Mega Elixir and 2 Cottages, so it's unbelievable value. Even the MP bubbles are great there.
Yeah.
We also picked up another red chest back there. That was another cottage for later.
Yep. So at the start of this fight here, I'm trying to call my party members over to this side to prevent Donald from casting Gravity on Behemoth, because if Donald does that, there's a chance Behemoth gets stunned early, which would be really bad. But now, as soon as, right here, I am casting Gravities, and you might be wondering, why didn't you cast Gravities on the previous Behemoth? That's because the previous Behemoth is considered to be a boss, and bosses in this game are resistant to magic. But this Behemoth is actually considered to be a regular enemy, which is quite interesting. So he takes a lot of gravity damage.
You see
And then Goofy throwing me
those
MP.
gifts.
I'm going to use the second MP gift there to do some Rs. And then some regular hits right here. And I'm trying to build up enough MP to do a second Rs as well.
3 for 3 on the lightning dodges. Legendary game here.
Yeah. Who needs the last R?
Yep, as it turns out.
Goofy Dublin.
Goofy
No,
W.
no Omega R. It's time to reset.
No. Yeah, there's a chance you can get a bonus Omega Arch drop right there, but it doesn't really help.
It's funny how you would think like it's this great accessory. Doesn't really save any time. You could like throw it on Goofy, I guess.
You could. I just tend to not pick it up whenever I get it. I just let it sit there.
Don't mess with it.
Right there, hold on. Right there, I put on Oathkeeper again, and I put on Royal Crown over the Raven's Claw. That gives us 9 MP, and that's exactly how many we need, plus our 2 cheers in order for Simba to kill all of these waves coming up.
Yeah, so again, keep in mind, Violin just went from 5 max MP to 9 with this mage build.
Yeah.
And all of your magic, how strong they are, and their duration is built off of whatever your max MP is. His strength stat tanked, but based on these next 2 fights, you'll see we don't really care about the strength stat.
Yeah, and these portals, the game just makes you go to worlds which you haven't sealed the keyhole for. So we're going to Olympus Coliseum here a little bit, and then to Atlantica, just to do some quick fights. But at the start here, we want to do 2. So you can see like the Keyblade flashing there. We want to get 2 flashes and then let go of triangle to keep the enemy stunned for a little bit, and that will give us enough time to do 3 full charges here to kill the rest of the Heartless. You can't see the Heartless because I'm pointing towards the door, but there's a lot of Heartless spawning, and Simba's destroying all of them. And I'm faced towards the door just so I can exit faster.
Yeah, because for every time the Keyblade flashes right there, you do something a little bit stronger with Simba's Roar. So that's why you're seeing just the first one is just to stun that first wave, so you have time to then just catch the others on spawn. Now even more magic usage.
Yeah, 5 fires on each of these will kill them. Then I'm going to cast Gravity on both of these Aqua Tanks. And then 3 fires per enemy to get rid of them.
That's weird.
And that's pretty good.
Always want to make sure the screen flashes right there before you go through the exit point there. Otherwise, the enemies all respawn. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
more
I've
of
had
a,
that happen a couple times.
Oh, yeah. That was more of a problem back in like PS3 days. Sometimes it would take a while for it. Thankfully, newer versions of the game were like, yeah, we're good. Another Mega Elixir right there.
Another Mega Elixir, touching the save point to refill. Then this is pretty similar to the first Invisibles fight. I'm going to use Arrow and then focus on the Invisible at the front. Hope the rest of the Invisibles come underneath. And they all went underneath my
Oh,
gravity.
that was
Beautiful.
filthy.
Yeah, that was very good.
Another Elixir.
Yep. And then 1 gravity on that. Hit into gravity, lock on switch to the other invisible, do another gravity, and then hopefully Donald and Goofy hit that invisible, then finish this one off. And then use a fire on this one. He's under damage, so I'm gonna go and attack him. I blame my party members, they did a bad job.
Their fault.
Healing for safety. And now I am I'm going back to the attack build, the strength build, and putting on EXP 0. And you might be wondering, why would you want to put on EXP 0? Why would you want to prevent yourself from leveling up? And that's because in KH1, on the HD port, there's a very weird property where if you do a finisher while EXP 0 is equipped, all of your magic and summons will use the damage multiplier of that finisher for every single hit that it does. And that glitch is called damage storage, which is very cool. And you'll see our first usage of Mushu here.
Yeah, I always kind of equate it to anybody familiar with Ocarina of Time speedrunning, the power crouch stab, where we can basically do like a very powerful, like a jump attack, and then use the little crouch stabs that normally don't do really much of any damage. All of a sudden, all of that gets applied to it. That's what you're about to see here. If you just summoned Mushu and used him right here, you'd probably do like maybe a bar of damage to Chernobog right here. So watch what we're gonna do instead.
Yeah, so right here, we do 1 full combo with the finisher, land on his shoulder, and summon Mushu. And now he'll be very strong. It's just as simple as that. You just do a finisher and summon Mushu. Keep in mind though, it has to be a normal finisher. It can't be like a modified finisher like Hurricane Blast or anything like that. It has to be a normal finisher for damage storage to work. And look at that health bar.
Yeah. That's already way more than you would have dealt if you don't do the damage storage.
Yeah.
And he's dead.
Nice.
And he's dead. And then we want to land on this platform right here before the fight ends, just to save a little bit of time in the next screen. But I missed it because I'm bad. It's fine.
Yeah, it remembers
And then
your
we got
position.
Super Glide.
Yep, very nice.
Oh, whale.
Yeah. And in this next menu, I'm going to put on Super Glide because it makes us go fast. And we're going to keep on EXP 0 for the rest of the run. So in standard mode, we would finish out the run with 6 MP while still having Oblivion. On Proud, we have 5 MP. So not only do we take double damage in final fights, we also have 1 less MP to utilize.
Or you
Just makes
already
things even more difficult.
are you already level 43? Is that on this route?
Let's go back and check. It might be smaller than that. Yeah, 43.
Okay,
right
yeah,
there.
so that's I had done a beginner route where you EXP 0 Dragon Maleficent as well with that, and that's, you might think like, oh well, you got this whole final series of enemies that give you a bunch of EXP. Level 43 is the last level you care about. That has a strength stat locked to it. I think I checked this afternoon. The next level that gives you strength is level 49. So we're going to come nowhere close to that.
at the start of this fight, I'm just using gravities until Goofy gives me some MP. Doing some hits right here, and then doing a bit of R's. And then making sure I don't fall off, because falling off loses a lot of time. The second R's will stun Behemoth, and I'll finish him off with some combos. And then I have to quickly make my way over to this emblem piece door and run towards the wall, and that will give us plenty of time to pause during this transition. If you stay in the middle of the arena, you'll get like 1 or 2 frames that you can pause while the command menu's blue. And the reason we want to pause here is to switch back to our magic build.
Yeah, because this is a non-negotiable. You need Oathkeeper, you need Royal Crown, you need that 9
Yeah.
MP or this doesn't work.
Yeah, we also used the cottage right there as well. And now we have this fight. Where I'm going to position myself in front of a very specific dark ball while also mashing triangle to, because Donald is at the entrance of this room on the complete other side. We want him to be as close to us as possible. So I'm commanding him to go towards me while rolling. And then I'm going to use 2 fires on each of these dark balls. After killing this dark ball, I'm going to go back to the emblem piece door and cast arrow. And then I'm going to do a new strat that I created.
Ooh.
Basically utilizing stop to make sure the invisibles are all clumped together in place.
Ooh, little stop usage, nice.
And then use gravity on the rest. I healed Donald there as well because we need him alive to summon. Both of your party members have to be alive to summon.
Oh my god, that was so cool.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was very good.
I love the stop usage there and just basically giving it a little bit of patience to say, I'm not going to actually start damaging the invisibles. I'm going to let them come in. And now had to use Simba to try to get rid of the last 5 waves of enemies here. This is really why the 9 MP was so important. You will have just enough to get off a 5th roar with Simba here.
Alerts are off, Manny.
And then a cool quirky thing is after this fight ends, it's actually faster to attack the emblem piece door because then the next scene will load in a little bit faster.
What?
I don't know why. Yeah.
That's so funny. What?
Yeah.
It's weird.
KH1 in a nutshell.
Time save on
Yeah, so
Final
Violin just killed like 100 Heartless. Extremely
Yeah.
quickly, extremely efficiently. That invisible strat, that was hot. I loved that.
Picking up another elixir in that room.
Yep, the last
It'll be
one of
very
the
useful.
run.
And now we have Ansem. You might remember this fight being very difficult as a kid when you played this. But Mushu.
Funny
We got our
enough,
little
on like
secret weapon.
on lower difficulties, this is probably one of the hardest execution fights in the entire game. Is Ansem 1. But
Yeah.
the little deflection on the blade. Let's go on the destructive disc.
Yeah. Right there.
That was hot.
Just parrying the disc back at him.
Getting that damage storage off the aerial finisher right there. You can use a ground finisher as well. I believe it's the same multiplier on it. Just once again, the air combos are generally faster.
Yeah. And look at his health bar.
In a moment.
And we also want to push him to this specific corner. And also I know, oh yeah, during this disc attack, you can just stand right in front of him. You won't get hit.
That's funny.
It looks scary, but it's easy. And then he'll jump. I know exactly when he jumps, so I'll just jump with him. Have a little jump party. And then I'm using a couple fires at the end of this fight here to set up my orange MP bar right here to be as high as possible. So I'm going to switch back to a strength build. We want our MP to be as high as possible.
And here's the last menu that we will have for the entire game.
And using a cottage there, putting on 2 elixirs and 4 mega elixirs. And then switching back to our strength build and giving Goofy our Royal Crown. So now he has 2 more MP. Or sorry, 3 more MP. I'm going to do 3 hits into an R's right here. All the bashes except the last one. 2 more sets of 3 hits and then R's again. And that gives us just enough damage to finish this fight off with a few more air combos.
Yeah, there's fun optimization back there where by positioning Sora very specifically between the hand and the head, you were getting in some like double hits. But now we go into, I think, the coolest fight in the run, just the most fun to get good at.
Yeah, so right there, I had to dodge roll through this attack. But his starting attack is completely random. He can either swing at you, he can dash at you, or this is my least favorite attack actually, where he shoots these shockwaves, I guess. Light pillars.
It almost...
It's hard to dodge and doesn't keep him open for a while.
The retaliation, or like the catching him after he does it, almost feels random. It's you can get it. It's tough.
Yeah, he's not open for. He's open for a very small amount of time there. Yeah, dodge rolling through that submit attack, and now I'm going to set up for DM skip at about this amount of HP when he's about to go into his green HP bar. We want to set up for DM skip, and basically what we want to do is do 2 staggers, and then we want to do a 3rd stagger back up and do an R's, and that'll catch him right before he's about to DM. So 2 staggers right there. I'm going to reset my combo, do 1 more stagger, and then run backwards and do R's. And that will stagger him again. That's how you know you got DM skip. And then here we can do a normal combo. Free punish right here. And now we're going to do DM skip 1 more time. 2 combos, 1 stagger, or sorry, 2 staggers, then 1 stagger, then R's again.
Absolute textbook fight. Each DM wastes a good 15 plus seconds, so could not afford that in order to get world record tonight.
Thank you for the good luck, guys.
Yeah. And I'm going to utilize damage storage here again. Like I said, it also affects magic. So I'm going to do a full combo here and go straight into spamming fire. Getting hit there is fine as long as I don't get hit again.
So we mentioned that magic deals more damage based on the size of your MP bar. However, because we have EXP0 equipped and we have that finisher stored, every single one of these fires is going to do the exact same damage as our finishers.
Yeah, because your MP bar is pretty low, you're going to be seeing a lot of elixirs here. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of elixirs. We use like 4 elixirs here. We also want to make sure Ansem, his health bar is not too low here. Otherwise, he'll go into his last phase immediately, and you won't be able to kill him in time before all the lasers start shooting out. You want him above half the bar right here, like half of the brown bar. And then we're going to dodge these lasers. We're going to move all the way back here because he's going to spawn some bat enemies. But if we're far away enough, it'll despawn them. And now that they're despawned, we can go in and start shooting more fires. And I'm hoping to see this long attack from him every single time, because that'll give us more time to use fires on him. You can either do a short attack or a long attack.
Really good RNG.
And he's doing a lot of long attacks, which is very good.
Sorry, the 4th elixir usage of this fight.
Yeah.
Coming down on that final green bar right here.
Yeah, and I'm just going to finish him off using physical hits now.
Interesting not using the finishers right there.
Yeah, finishers have a lot of end lag, so we like to not use them. And right here, I'm going to do a very precise dodge roll after this fight starts fading out. And that'll put Sora into the next loading zone during this next cutscene, and it'll automatically skip the cutscene. So right there. I didn't even have to pause. It just auto-skipped. backing up and doing an R's right there to catch a lot of shadows. Then I'm going to use some aerial hits. I'm avoiding doing finishers here because I don't want to knock any shadows away. Got a little unlucky there with them going underground. And I'm trying to build up some MP here for the next fight. Because I want enough magic to cast an arrow and have a heal left over. Because this fight coming up is very scary.
Are you guys getting ads? Oh no, I'm sorry.
So here I'm trying to focus on the middle artillery here. To hit both of these at the same time. I got pushed back there. I'm going to heal immediately after getting hit. Because I don't want to risk dying. Especially on world record pace. And then on these giant two cannons, I'm going to lock on switch between them. And then after my finisher, I'm going to unlock and relock so I can keep switching between them. So you saw me unlock and relock right there. So I'm going to heal right here, do another arrow. Because we have 5 MP, our arrow does not last for long. So we have to arrow again very short after. Locking onto this middle one to combo 2 of them at the same time. That pushback right there probably saved me from dying. I'm not gonna lie. Because right there, that projectile almost killed me. But because I got pushed back, I lived. So that was too risky on my part. I should have healed earlier.
Yeah, a general technique from Violent is after getting pushed back, there will always be a laser that then comes in that trajectory. So generally, he's going to fly down to go underneath that.
Yeah. And then I heal to full HP there for safety. At the start of the fight here, I like to cast arrow on this middle dark ball. That'll catch a lot of dark ball, not arrow, gravity. And then that'll catch a lot of invisibles underneath my gravity. And do a full combo there to wipe a lot of them out. Cast arrow here, and then hopefully Goofy gives me MP. By the way MP gift works with the 5 MP setup is you need 1 MP or less for MP gift to trigger. So if you have 2 MP or more, Goofy will never give you MP.
Yeah, so there is consistency to it.
Yeah, so because I have 2 MP right now, I'm just going to heal in order to trigger Goofy's. Or I'm going to use arrow to trigger Goofy's MP gift again. And that'll allow us to use more R's here. And that was a very clean fight. That was almost tied. That almost tied my best segment. Dark balls are very random enemies. They like to move around everywhere. So getting a fight that fast is very, very lucky. And now I'm 53 seconds ahead of PB. Oh yeah. That's another thing is you want Mega Ether drops in this fight to use on the next fight because Goofy dies very quickly during the face fight, and you want to use Mega Ethers on yourself so you can do more R's. However, in this fight I got very unlucky and I got 0 drops.
I got 0.
So we'll see how I deal with this.
Yeah, it's very rare you're not going to at least get 1 out of those dark balls.
Yeah. So using arrow here right away, I'm going to try to do some slap shots on the face here and then do some R's to iframe through those lasers. This is a very scary fight, by the way. I've had so many runs die here.
And Goofy's dead.
And Goofy died early, so I'm going to heal him probably, I think. Yeah. Healing him there. And I healed myself because I didn't want to risk dying. I would rather do normal hits than die. I'd rather be slow than die. Dying wastes way more time.
This is one of the many places where there's so much improv and so much experience that comes into this, where Violent's done this run hundreds of times. He knows what he's doing, especially in a position like this, so he just needs to make those calls on the fly.
Yeah, and right here, I get very lucky. I use a Mega Potion that I got during the Shadows fight. I use that Mega Potion to heal Goofy up a little bit, and then Goofy's going to get hit here again, I believe. Yeah, he got hit right there, and he went from 1 MP to 2 MP, which is just enough to give me another MP gift. So because I tossed that Mega Potion, I was able to get magic back.
Just
And so then
enough
I
for another
arrowed.
arrow.
Yeah, another arrow and another R's. And I'm playing it very safe right here.
Nope, I'm healing.
Healing to full HP, because if my arrow runs out and I've taken any damage, the next hit will kill me.
Yeah.
Playing it incredibly safe.
See, it would be so easy for someone with a little less experience to greed that out.
Yeah,
Because it was 2
you
hits
cannot
away.
get greedy here.
2 hits.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Here is effectively the final boss, the final Invisibles Court.
Yeah, actually the final boss in this fight is Goofy, and you'll see why. Look at him.
Pushing.
Oh my,
He's
Get
going
back!
he's pushing them away from my stop. That's very bad. You want all of these invisibles to be stopped, but because Goofy pushed them away, there's going to be 3 invisibles still alive after these gravities. And I will be losing 20 seconds in this fight,
Oh my god.
which will... I'll still be at world record pace, but not by a lot. I was about to world record by like 25 minutes. Or, sorry, 25 seconds. 25 seconds.
Not many people have run this category. It would have been bonkers.
Yeah.
But
I was going to PB world record by 27 seconds, but because of Goofy, I world recorded by 7. I'll still take it, though. A world record is a world record. You can't complain.
still one invisible left.
Oh my god. Just go.
Yeah.
Just go. Hitting these with
go.
fires
Just
from
go.
a distance. Very nice. Just go.
Okay.
Just go.
That was really stupid, but it's okay.
It was really dumb.
Now just 2 fights left. They generally should be a lot more consistent than what we just saw, but gotta execute. Like, if that Invisibles room goes perfect, you're like, all right, let's go, world record. Now you're probably like, ooh,
Yeah.
I gotta
Ooh,
be
I gotta
fast.
hurry, I gotta hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just doing some gravities there, and then some hits. And then this is a really cool strat here on Ansem 4 that Dessa35, Game Man of Color, and I, all 3 of us worked on this strat. At the start here, you want to command your party towards Ansem, and then dodge these lasers. Do a full combo on Ansem. You're gonna get hit here, that's okay. You can't avoid that. Fall to the ground here, dodge this last set of lasers while walking into the corner, and then dodge roll, and then summon Mushu.
Oh my god, the early Mushu strats.
Yeah, that'll allow you to summon Mushu early, and you will completely skip his DM. And then we're going to...
So cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool strat. I'm proud to have been a part of developing this
Because
strat.
now you're actually on a timer. He needs to die before he starts backing you up with the gravity. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool.
Yep,
Woo!
and he's dead.
And there it is.
GG.
We're finally done.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Absolutely
Awesome.
phenomenal.
That was a lot of fun to watch. And there was a lot of, again, it's Kingdom Hearts 1 Proud is never going to be this like super clean looking run, right? It's always going to be,
Yeah.
I said it earlier in the run, you're always kind of rolling with the punches. And for every time there was like, oh man, I got unlucky and lost like 20 seconds, you then had something like Riku 1 happened, or there were a couple of Invisibles fights there that happened that were just, yeah, these were so good. You almost like got that time back and more. That was a lot of
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
y'all so much for coming on and really breaking down this run. This was absolutely great to watch. A Spike yeah. It was so good. I want to give all of you a chance to go ahead and shout out whatever you'd like. Let us know where we can find you and what to expect on your channels. We'll go ahead and start with Violin, of course.
If you would like to watch me do speedruns, I speedrun Kingdom Hearts pretty much every single day on twitch.tv/violin. And you can also find me on Twitter at Violin Gamer or YouTube at Violin SR.
I'm gonna go ahead, Majoris.
I'll shout out the Kitchen Boys. You know who you are.
And Spike.
Yeah, you can follow me at twitch.tv/SpikeVegeta. I do a lot of different things on my stream, people probably know, but I am also, kind of one of my next speedrun goals is to come back to Proud. Many, many moons ago, I actually had an old PS3 world record in this category. Wanted to come back and learn the 2022 strats, and I'm learning off of Violin's tutorials. If you want to learn how to run this game, Violin uploads a lot of great YouTube content. If you want to learn Proud, Standard, I'm sure you made one for beginner, has a really, really good just KH1 speedrunning tips video that you've made. All those tutorials up on YouTube. I'm learning off of them. Y'all should learn off them too. Yeah, this game it can be frustrating to run, but also a lot of fun, especially if you're like us and you love Kingdom Hearts. So, yeah.
I have a question in chat asking, what's the next world record for Violin?
I don't know, but I'm currently grinding out the level 1 any percent category for KH1. I want to get world record, but it's very hard to compete with Miss Time. He is very good at level 1 and has been grinding it out for several years. And I'm very new to the category, so I've been struggling, but we'll see. And then I'll be back on that beginner grind soon after.
Yeah, make sure to check that out because that is also a fantastic run. If you enjoy this tonight, you'll definitely enjoy watching Violin grind out that level 1 speed run. But that's it for tonight, chat. Thank you all for being awesome as well. We will be back tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern with Legally Cute. Challenger Approaching is off this week, but it will be returning 2 Fridays from now at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to stick around, everyone. We will be raiding somebody shortly, and you should join us for that raid. But everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.